Amos Sunday Sewn 52, Passios shadow work, last bit. With DK, we're going to have a bit of a chat and stuff like that, but before we get into that, I'm going to play some music, and hopefully it works. Hopefully you can hear it. Someone tell me in the chat room if you can, please. Yeah, it's no picture, but that's okay. Yeah. Just Amos Soon. You spelled differently. That's the wrong sign, actually. Oh, well. Might be able to fix that mid-show. That's better. Bit of a cloudy day. Same cameras, same speakers. Well, let's see, this works. DK's already showing. Look, what's okay. Ah, look, it's gone blank again. Well, that's a shame. There you go, mate. Yeah.
Now, because we've got the Discord screen showing, just go to screen share on Discord and then play the Mark Passio thing on here.
Right. Yeah.
And then you'll be able to record this with one computer. Because you did say you're down to one computer.
Yeah.
So just screen share on here and it'll push us off to the side and just make the screen share thing like, full screen sort of thing.
There you go, yep. Alright, I'm seeing that.
Just silly little tricks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Of course, I knew this before, but let's find that screen. That one. Yeah, it isn't. Why isn't that coming up? Yeah. Well, sorry, folks. We're having technical difficulties as we do. And
share either. I usually just use entire screen, to be honest, because then whatever you put on the screen is what will show up. Make sure the audio's on.
No, it's not actually showing the screen that I want to play.
No, you have to go find that afterwards. You have to screen share first and then go find the Passio one after.
Right, okay. Well, let's do that. Yep, okay.
There you go.
Now we're there.
And now you've got it, yeah. And now it should show whatever your strip. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, man.
There?
That's it. Yep. Okay.
Not on my screen,
yeah.
not. Yeah.
You know, it's because you just changed shit again.
Yeah. Okay, right. Okay.
So now you have to stay on you'll have to stay on the Mark Passio screen though.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Is this playing?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Well, Mark Passio one. Don't keep changing it.
Yep.
Just leave it like that. So that's why I like roofing. Yeah, it wasn't really wrong. Necessities like with it, food, water, warmth, and shelter.
And like myself,
So, yeah.
I make food. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's there's certain jobs that are actually morally
correct.
You know, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Shut the fuck up then. Is that morally correct? No. I love your input, but okay, let's get back into it. I'm going to look at my phone, YouTube, and see if that works.
I'm not sure what's going on. Pause it for a minute, man.
Say again, okay.
Yeah, nothing's showing up on YouTube.
Really?
It says yeah, that's what's showing up.
Yeah, I see that.
Your stream is still running. We've paused this preview to save your resources.
Ooh. But I'm not really fucking running fuck all.
Well, yeah, it should just be, yeah, I don't know. Unscreen share and start again. Like start the screen.
Yep, no.
Yep. I'm not sure why it's done that.
Well, I haven't got my camera available at the moment, and actually, let's just put DK back up at the minute. Which is a...
Well, send me the Passio link and where we're up to, and I'll do it if you want. Might save your computer a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just send it to me and like general on Discord. Just send me that Passio link and tell me how far through it we are. I'll skip up to where we're at, and then I'll just screen share it for you, so it's not screwing around with you.
Well, it's 6 hours 43 minutes into it.
Yeah, just send me the 6 hours 43 minutes.
Yep.
6.
In that place. In your show.
Yeah. Still in Discord, but okay.
Yeah, mate.
No, we get it sorted for you.
Really?
You turn off your screen share though.
Okay, in Discord.
Yeah, turn that off, and then I'll screen share it.
Yeah.
What the hell? Where's my screen share going?
Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah. Yeah. I think the screen's on the screen at the moment, but it won't show it to me, sort of thing. I think it does go actually. Yeah, because it's live on the.
Where's the Bit-chute one on here?
Okay. You got Bit-chute happening?
Yeah, as soon as I get to the right amount of time, and well, it's loading. Come on, load.
Welcome everyone. So glad that you could all be here today.
That sounds like the start.
Yes. Worried about you.
Hey, we're at 6:40. Right, we're at 6:42:55.
Yep.
Cool. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mine starts at 43:02, so that's perfect.
Okay. Nice, good shit. Yeah, I was just scrolling through. It doesn't come up with numbers, so I had to like randomly just guess like where to tap it as I was going. But yeah, looks like I've got them. So we're all good to go. And same as last time, it's like, yeah, just let me know when you want me to pause, when you want to say something, and I'll pause it if I want to say something, so we're not talking over Passio the whole time.
Yep, gotcha.
Cool. All right, we're good to go then.
Let's go.
And not take orders from anyone else. One is not engaging with conscience. Their shadow work is not being conducted honestly.
It's not on the screen.
Cannot be successful.
Hang on.
You think any order follower can actually be successful in doing shadow work and self-transformation and self-transmutation into a better being? Impossible.
Right. So neither me or you is showing up on your Rumbel stream at all. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Really?
Has watch stream showed up on the screen for you even? Maybe just hang up on Discord and come back. I'll just pause it where it is till you get yourself sorted.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll hang up and come back, yeah. What about this?
I'm not sure, maybe because you've got too many other things going on the way.
No, I didn't press watch stream. How's that look now?
I mean, it's not even showing up with our camera on Discord. Like either one of us, it's just got two black rectangles on YouTube. It's just showing up with two black rectangles. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now hit watch stream, and you should be away laughing. Yeah, man. Cool.
So, you press...
Yeah, good to go now.
Yeah.
When we conduct the self-examination dynamics of shadow work, most
and
honestly,
even hit full screen if you want for Discord.
That no one who is following orders can truly be exercising conscience, and therefore no one who is following orders can truly be.
It showed up and then it cut out.
What?
Click on watch stream again. No, it's all cut out. It's like blacked out the watch screen. It's blacked out the watch stream and it's blacked out both. There, it's back. Right, I push play again, it's showing. I don't know what's going on. Don't hit any more buttons.
Okay.
Don't touch anything else now.
Scary, isn't it?
Wait, nothing. Stop touching buttons. Stop moving the mouse.
I've stopped.
Okay.
Good person.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Everything went black straight away. You think? Oh, no. I keep forgetting there's a delay from like us to YouTube. Shit.
Every order follower is a bad person.
Cool.
You're engaged in any dynamic of this type of livelihood. You're not a good and moral person. You are a bad person. Because you are not willfully following conscience. You are willfully following orders. That's the definition of the fucking job. You can't change the definition of words.
I'm going to look at me main page, see if it makes a difference. Tell me.
Don't do anything else.
Simultaneously following orders
Just checking the chat.
Following conscience means that you are not following.
Hello, Rip Me's in the house.
You correctly assess right versus wrong,
Yeah.
and you're simply
So it's still working, is it?
to actually engage what is right. So if your job entails any following of orders that you don't have the right to refuse unless you quit
No,
that
no,
job,
it is.
You're trying to do too much at the same time. As soon as you go and check anything else,
Okay.
it's like it's cutting out it's cutting everything out on Discord.
Okay, well, I'll stop now. Can you press play again?
you're not a good person. Get the fuck over it. Anybody who's trying to argue with me about this dynamic, you are wrong. And forever will be. A good affirmation to abandon the immoral dynamic of order following is this: I will stop being an order follower. No matter what type of discomfort this creates in my life, I will endure it, and I will force myself to engage conscience and quit my immoral job. No excuses.
Ripley says, not Passio, has a mortgage, Andy is not in jail. Just saying.
Yeah, because I can't watch the chat room now.
Dynamic onto it. Just say what's true.
Last time, let me try again. Let me just watch the chat room.
Even if you don't know how you'll live and
Is that working? That change anything?
YouTube catches up.
And you let the universe take care of the rest of it. If you don't think that forces will come to your assistance when you will see things rearrange organically and dynamically when you start to do the right thing out of true care for what is true and good.
What?
As opposed to
Screen's gone off?
Yeah. Okay.
Fuck.
Let me show you what you need to do.
Yeah, I'll just go back to this. Yep.
No. Go. Okay, right now, go to your YouTube chat.
Yep. There.
Right. Pop out chat.
Pop out chat. All right.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, pop out the YouTube chat. So you're not looking at the whole YouTube screen.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then go back to Discord and move the chat to like one side of the screen and adjust the size of Discord so you can see the chat at the side of Discord.
No, I don't see the chat on Discord.
It's like you don't want it on Discord.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah. See ya.
Yeah. Pop
Gotcha.
out chat and then shrink the Discord screen down just enough so you can see the YouTube chat down the side.
Yeah,
And
right.
then,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, you've done this for years. I should know this.
Cool. That's what I do on Rumbel. That's why I pop out my chat on Rumbel and have the screen like shrunk a little bit so I can do everything else like on the rest of the screen.
Okay, fair enough, mate. Got it sorted. So start the show again.
Cool.
Fear for maybe not having the resource that you once had, so you'll just keep committing the evil. Only garbage does that. Only trash does that. I don't care what color you are. White trash, black trash, yellow trash, red trash, blue and green fucking trash, rainbow trash. No matter, you're trash. That's it.
Rainbow trash is one thing for sure.
Stop following orders. You do a job that involves right livelihood. How about making an affirmation to stop spreading poisonous worldview everywhere? You know, that's one of the questions you got to ask yourself. Have I been guilty of that? And answer it honestly, then make a commitment to stop doing it. Our mental diet is just as important as our physical one.
I'm going to turn my camera off for a minute.
With falsity, we invariably propagate.
I've got to turn my camera off for a minute.
Okay.
I've got to engage in illegal activities. Carry on.
Right.
Don't worry about me.
Which invariably leads to more wrong behavior in our world. A good affirmation to commit to stop spreading worldview poisoning is this: I will heal my own worldview and stop spreading falsity which poisons the worldview of others. I will cease steering others' work in the wrong direction because I know wrong thinking leads to wrong behavior. Steering others' worldview, I should say. Sorry, I said the word work. I will seek steering others worldview in the wrong direction because I know wrong thinking
Nice
leads
work
to
there,
wrong
Gay.
behavior. That's why everything begins and ends with worldview, ladies and gentlemen. And we have to stop.
Started just using one computer. So I had to figure out cheap, easy ways of doing shit.
Political garbage nonsense.
Yeah, exchange of fluids time.
Make an affirmation to teach objective morality and natural law. This is a great variant of the justice card in the tarot deck. Shadow work, if conducted honestly and effectively, will always lead us to the truth that the only solution to the human condition of slavery is true moral education. And that is done digitally in the world. It ain't done with a fucking megaphone. It ain't done with paper and pen. It ain't done with talking to your fucking next door neighbor. It's done online. It's done digitally through modern digital communication and publishing. And you got to get your head out of your ass if you think learning a computer is not involved in that process. The computer is the creative tool for content creation. And proper moral education happens online these days. You know, not with a fucking quill pen and an inkwell. Okay? For all the fucking 90-year-olds among us. Or 100-year-olds. You know? You gotta learn how to operate a fucking computer, and you gotta learn how to publish and communicate in the modern day. And if you're not doing that, you ain't involved in the solution. You're playing with your pud, as the old saying went. That's what you're doing. You're not involved in the solution. The more people involved in the work of true moral education, the faster human slavery can be ended. Shadow work leads us to the unwavering conclusion that we must make a deep commitment to spreading the understanding of natural law by publicly teaching it to others. Not secret agent teaching, not, oh my God, I'm Agent 007 today, boy, and nobody's going to know my name in any chat I participate in. I'm going to be an anonymous coward. You think you're going to do the great work like that? Get the fuck over your own fucking bullshit ego. Okay? A good affirmation regarding this dynamic of teaching natural law to others is, I will teach natural law and objective morality in a public capacity. I will engage the great work of true moral education, for I know that it is the only solution to achieving true freedom for all. And if you don't understand that, once again, you're an asleep motherfucker. You're not awake in any capacity whatsoever if you don't understand that true moral education done publicly is the only fucking solution. Haven't even begun the understanding of the solution. That's why the fucking dark occultists call your ass the unbegun. Yeah, you're not initiated. You haven't started. Yeah, that's what they mean by that. The unbegun. That's one of the things they call people. You know, one of the other things they call people, they call them the fucking dead. Because they say their consciousness is so dead and that they refer to them as the dead. And then look at the things that they do to them that are completely immoral. I'm just doing that to a dead being that has no consciousness. Because they're not here. They're an NPC. They're not an actual player in the game of life. They're just fucking dead flesh. They're dead robotic fucking matter that we programmed to be dead. And so, hey, we can do anything we want to them. Consider them our property. And again, affirmations can go on and on and on, like acknowledgments can go on.
And learn this. I will put more resources toward the great work. And
Yeah. What resources are they?
Yeah, the one great work is Aleister Crowley's saying. So he keeps saying that he's all this shit behind. Yep. But yet he just doesn't stop going on about it. He just keeps bringing it up, but just in a load of ways that, unless you actually know some of that shit, most people won't pick up.
Yeah.
On and on and on. I will express more gratitude for what I have. I will put more resources toward the great work. I will be patient with those who are making a sincere effort. I will get involved in the war against tyranny instead of just complaining. I will listen better instead of just waiting to speak. I will teach others what I have learned thus far. We have to make affirmations for all of those dynamics and many, many innumerable more. Once again, this is not work that ends or stops. It goes on and on and on. So there's a million affirmations that can be made.
Are they Bible codes, those fucking whip me things, are they?
Triple A
I
method.
don't think he's just saying what the time was.
Yeah.
This is the rhetoric.
But he's
Oh, yeah.
missing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our times, yeah, because it's, 4:15 p.m. or 16:15 military time. It's 1800 military time over there, isn't it? Or 18:15.
Honest acknowledgement in the first stage, and the commitment we have made to move forward with positive change in stage 2.
I know, it was Rip Me in the UK.
Real world action.
I think so.
Which we can apply once we have
Because he's saying Aussie time.
diagnosed the causal factors of problems and gain full understanding of
Yeah, I think he's in the UK.
which we must meet to solve those problems.
Yeah.
Hey,
This
Ripme,
is a stepwise linear progression that is not to be taken
give us
out
your
of
locale in the YouTube
gather
chat
the
room.
knowledge, understand what it means, act upon it.
You don't have
That's the
to, of
true
course.
method, and that applies in shadow work.
Mark Passio is a very clever peer.
It is inadequate,
Wow.
wrong, false,
Fear of who?
and
Well, this is what Ripme said. Nah.
start to understand how at the later stage of part 2. But if you're asking yourself the right questions in part 1 and you're making good affirmations in part 2, by the time you get to the action stage, you're going to start formulating real world action plans. It's not going to be some nebulous thing you don't know how to do. This is where you then break things down in small chunks.
Can you just pause it for a minute, mate?
Okay? And again,
Right, guys, just before I let everyone know, today's show, in the description, I've put a direct link to this actually, what's it, fucking Bit-chute link, the Bit-chute link that shows this whole presentation incomplete. So you don't have to look for, well, if you've watched these shows so far, it's probably too late. But yeah, the link's in the description. Okay.
I mean, if you've got the time yourself, you can sit down and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, but I reckon I reckon our show's been pretty educational about it. It's like a good take on it.
Yeah, because I kind of don't like Passio, so it's like I'm pointing out the bits that I think he's getting wrong, and I'm pointing out the bits where I think he's still
and
some of the other agenda which he says he's not for anymore.
And
so, yeah.
And I've disagreed with you a few times, but that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
That's what we do. Yeah. Okay, well, back to it, mate.
Yeah, man.
Guess what? It's going to follow the steps of the trivium again, basically. It's going to be threefold. Keep it simple. Keep it threefold.
I like the idea of the trivium idea.
Okay, it's a magic number. Okay, but if you do it like that and keep it simple, it will be attainable. It will not be something that is overwhelming. So, the third step is real world action.
Central Western New South Wales.
Diagnose the problem and gain
Hey, is that Aussie?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Act, meet the requirements.
You're saying that the time was 4:15.
Okay, so this is not the one. This is not the
I'm drunk.
It is manifested in the world in which we live. Now you
Again.
have to step out.
Or is it still?
Once you engage the other dynamics of shadow work and have understood what your work is to do, and then you gotta go do those things. So we are now set to actualize. Again, this is what self-actualization is about. To actualize the real life practical behaviors which are required for true self-improvement and the improvement of our entire species and the human condition. Self-actualization is actually the long-term goal of shadow work, represented here by the tarot card, the magician, who has arrayed the forces of nature in the form of the discs, the cups, the swords, and the wands, representing earth, air, water, and fire, at his table before him while he raises the wand of power, and he is making a connection as a conduit between the heavens and the earth, as above, so below. The magician is the self-actualized one who has attained a form of self-mastery by his behavior in the world. That's why he has the forces of nature at his disposal, because he has acted rightly. He is the magus. The magician is the self-actualized one, the learned one, who has converted his learning into wisdom through right action.
Alan.
His knowledge and understanding.
Not yet. Back. Told you to stop hitting buttons.
Yeah.
Back on, don't worry.
This means maximizing your potential as a human being and manifesting the highest version of yourself. This does not occur merely through knowledge, emotion, or intention, but through action. The only way we ultimately express the being we are intended to be is through our behavior.
Yeah.
It is not through what we know. It is not through what we say.
Why do you keep hitting buttons? Okay. I told you, stop hitting buttons.
I'm not hitting buttons. I was just moving your mouse.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, well, I won't.
But your mouse should only be on the YouTube chat, so you can type there, and then just like hide it somewhere. That's it. That's all you need.
Okay.
And just don't move. Yeah, and then don't move the mouse again, and shouldn't turn
Okay.
off.
No worries. Okay.
You have to type in chat.
Okay. Let's go. Do it.
Right.
It is not through how we feel. It is through what we do in life, and that matters, and that's important, and that's what will echo into eternity if we do the things that are truly right. Plans of real-world action are what move us closer to this goal of self-actualization. Knowledge is useless without action. The Eastern philosopher Yang Ming said to know and not to act is not to know. To claim to know, but not to act rightly upon that knowledge actually means you still remain in ignorance and you don't truly know. You're just claiming to know. That's what that statement means. It will never truly matter how much anyone knows if they do not put what they know into right action. This is what true wisdom actually is. Wisdom is not knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Wisdom is acting rightly upon what you know and understand. It's action. Wisdom actually is to do the right things with what we have come to know and understand. That's what wisdom actually is. That's the definition of wisdom. This stage of shadow work is directly reflected in the trivium process of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. We must use the knowledge of our shortcomings.
I'm pretty sure it's Vinny's quote. I'm not sure if he got it from someone else or not. But I only heard him say it.
Into a synthesis comprising a real-world action plan that we will actually enact in order to bring about the changes that we seek.
It doesn't matter.
Physical manifestation in our lives. We have to bring those changes into physical manifestation.
It doesn't matter.
It starts in the mind and in our deeper understanding, but then we have to act to make them happen in the physical world. Without action, knowledge is often meaningless. As Aristotle put it, to be excellent, we cannot simply think or feel excellent. We must act excellently. You have to convert wisdom and knowledge and understanding into wisdom through right action. Wisdom is right action. Action always trumps good intentions. You can have all the good intention you want. Action is always more important than your intentions. Intentions are not enough. Words are not enough. Feelings are not enough. They must be supported by real-world actions. In New Age pseudo-spirituality, we are often influenced to overemphasize intention. This is all they want to talk about in the New Age community. What's the intent? What was really meant by that? What did the person have in their mind and their feelings? I don't really care. What you do matters more. You could make comments about what your intentions were, but that's not going to change what was actually done in the world through your behavior. You don't unthink an action, okay? You don't unfeel an action that you just conducted. You could be sorry about it and know it was wrong, but you did the behavior. That's what you've got to be responsible for. Essentially, intention is merely an internal state of emotion in which you are basically stating to yourself how you feel about doing something. It is not the behavior itself. It is separate from the behavior and distinct from it. And it is an emotional quality and dynamic and attachment. whether any behavior is taken.
Everyone has a
good or bad
problem with Mark Passio.
Compared to the behavior's actual resultant effects in our world. What happens is more important than what the intention was. Very unfortunately, most people have been brainwashed by New Age feel-good language regarding intention. The truth of this matter is that intention is ultimately meaningless unless it is supported by real-world action. Get the fuck over it. Get out of your fucking ego and the bullshit New Age garbage that you were fucking lied to about. Action's more important than intention. Always has been, is now, always will be fucking in for all eternity. Blanket statement.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Action is the foundational key to all success. You will not be successful in shadow work unless you take the real world actions that you really deeply pondered and thought about and worked through in your psychology. Success doesn't come until the action manifests it. Once again, get over yourself about your thoughts and feelings. They're important. You wouldn't be able to engage those aspects of consciousness if they weren't important and necessary. Don't think they're everything. They are preludes to right action, your thoughts and your emotions.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to be correct. That's why it is important to develop good intention, but you have to base that on right knowledge. You have to be correct in order to understand what needs to be done and then go out into the world and do it correctly. This is why skill is important. It's not just about wishful thinking and intention. You have to develop skills. That's a huge part of shadow work. Real world skillful action. Effective action. The smallest of actions is always better than the noblest of intentions. Amen. There's a wonderful prayer right there that everybody should say every fucking day. The smallest of actions is always better than the noblest of intentions. Eight fucking men. Beautiful. Effective action requires the development of discipline. And folks, I'm going until I finish. And if that takes us after 10, then that's what happens. And there's not going to be a Q&A. Okay, I'm sorry. For my own health, I will have to stop after 10 p.m. I'm going to finish what is left up till 10 probably. And hopefully I can get it done by then. We could establish a simple working definition of personal discipline as persistence in life endeavors, usually difficult endeavors that require time to accomplish. That's what discipline is. We're going to keep going. Even if we fail.
Yeah, I'm not very disciplined, I'm afraid.
Life endeavors is what discipline really is.
What was that?
I'm not very disciplined, I'm afraid. That's one thing you know what I mean? Yeah,
I keep watching your mouth keep moving around the damn screen and shit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm not very disciplined. And really, this brings out it's technically a problem. If I could be a bit more disciplined, I'd be able to do different things or better things or something. I don't know. Yeah. Am I a brainwashed fool? Probably.
No, I don't think so. You just can't stop fidgeting. Who else do I have to? I have to keep saying that to Immortal L when it comes to our website all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'll mention something, like while we're live streaming, I'll mention something, and he'll just start fucking around with shit while we're live. And then he'll screw something else up, and then he's got to spend a while trying to fix that and get that back right again so we can carry on.
Yeah, well.
Stop hitting buttons while we're live. Shit.
Yeah. But, well, because unfortunately, like, normally I do that on the other computer. But I haven't.
Yeah, I know. And now you can't. Yeah,
no, I'll be able to do. Just,
yeah.
The problem is I've just got to pay them some money. Yeah, I don't really want to. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like a different account that's mobile. Yeah, anyway. But,
have you got to pay money too?
Another telco company for me mobile internet thing. It's a.
Wait till we finish the show then.
Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah. Anyway, back to the show.
Yeah. Stop playing around with shit while you're live, man.
Yeah, can't promise anything.
Discipline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, luckily that came up.
Such a fucking wonderful job, haven't they? Tragically, this is seldom accomplished because most parents fail miserably at this job. Instead, most parents actually do the exact opposite. They teach their children through their words and example of the parent to give up as soon as a life endeavor becomes difficult or requires a longer length of time to accomplish. That's lack of discipline, and that's what parents instill in their children. Lack of discipline almost always comes from bad programming, from bad parenting. Lack of discipline almost always comes from bad programming that came from bad parents.
You bad person, you.
Get the fuck as offended as you want. Still going to be true tomorrow, the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, and out into the eternity.
So he believes nurture over nature. I see.
Cry about it.
Everything is the parents' fault. Nothing to do with the education system, their friends, or anything else they come across.
Now, those parents have been educated by the fucking system first, anyway.
No, but I mean, look at what happened to my son.
Yeah, yeah.
The education system and all the programming, because sadly, he turned 13 in 2020 when all the COVID flu shit was getting rolled out.
Yeah, yeah.
So his whole high school was basically the years with lockdowns and the complete bombardment of woke in his school and things. And half his friends going along with it as well.
So tell me, DK, so did your son become woke or not?
Yeah.
He did? Ah, well, don't worry.
That's why he left and moved back to his mum's.
Yeah.
They kept trying to get him to do things, and he wouldn't. Every time he'd go to his mum's, she'd just completely baby him, because she'd only see him in holidays, because she lives like 5 hours away. So he'd go there in school holidays. She'd completely baby him for the holidays. Then he'd come back, and I'd try and get him to do things. And he was like, why? It's like, so when I'm at mum's, I don't have to do anything.
Mate, this sounds like a conversation for off air. So, yeah, put the show back on.
Man, but yeah.
I
mean, he is bringing up some things, but I mean, he's saying the parents, but I'm trying to get him to learn shit, whereas she was just letting him get away with everything and doing nothing.
And
that's, I guess it's one of the parents in this situation.
And that's all because of the indoctrination of what's been happening, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, his learning years through high school were like when everything went to shit.
Yeah. I really hate this, folks. I don't have control of the start and stop feature.
Unfortunate parental dynamic. Development of true discipline will largely entail two characteristics. My parents didn't teach me true discipline. I'm saying this, me, okay? You know who taught me good discipline? My grandfather on my mother's side. That was the guy who taught me discipline in life. He taught me to keep going and do things that are worth doing, no matter how hard they become or how much time they require.
I'm not sure who taught me that.
Absolutely was a good man. I must say.
Wasn't my parents?
True discipline will largely entail two characteristics. First, one must develop a never say die attitude. You cannot give up. You cannot easily give up and quit. Quitters never win. Winners never quit. Persistence and willpower. Hey, I lay in bed, I feel like quitting. Some days. Do I do that? Do I
basic life knowledge, this. Basic life knowledge.
Yeah.
Persistence and willpower to accomplish the task at hand must be worked relentlessly. Second, one must develop the foresight to realize that anything worth doing is going to require sacrifice of one's time, attention, and resources. The fear of this kind of personal sacrifice must be shed through shadow work. And we must seriously commit ourselves to the task, regardless of the amount of time required. Sisyphus rolling that boulder up that hill might look like it's a endeavor that's never going to go anywhere. That doesn't mean you don't keep trying and you don't exercise discipline and persistence. There are absolutely no shortcuts or cheat codes to right action. Get over it. There's no easy way. You just got to put your nose to the grindstone and do the work. See, this is what people will not tell you about success in matters of any life endeavors or in the freedom community. They won't cover any of this material because 99.999% of them don't know it themselves, and even the ones that may know it, they don't want it getting out there because this gets you hated instead of loved and getting all your clicks and likes and whatever the fuck you want. You say the truth about people to them, they start not liking you very much and not tuning in. This ain't here for likes and popularity, folks. This is here for the future. This is here for posterity. This is here for as long as the internet exists. I'm putting this out into the ethers.
I like his hat.
That's what I'm about. I'm not about being fucking liked. I don't give a fuck who likes me or who doesn't.
See, the thing is, nowadays, doing videos on, YouTube, wherever else, is the equivalent of what used to be writing a book. Like, if you're monetized on YouTube and you put something on there, that can be watched on YouTube forever.
Yeah.
It's the same as if you write a book, it's out there and people can buy it forever.
You notice I've got the same hat.
You got the same hat.
Pretty much. Look at that. Look at that he's wearing. Hat I'm wearing.
I like that. Me too.
Yeah. How's that for a hat? I got two of them actually.
If you want to show that off, you can full screen your
Why
camera
not?
just to show everyone it.
And the other ones is basically the same. It's apparently what they wear in Yorkshire.
Oh yeah, one of them old ones. I know the ones.
Yeah, it's just a fucking bizzo hat made out of fucking some animal fibre.
I got a couple of them even.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to the show.
Yeah, click back on the watch stream thing and go full screen on that.
Saying what's true.
I think I did.
The fucking end.
Cool.
I don't care who brings me onto their fucking show. Would I like a bigger platform to help more people understand this? Yeah, sure. If that doesn't happen because people don't want to engage with my realness, they can go fuck themselves. I'm not interested in weak shits like that. I'll do it on my fucking own to the extent that I can until the day I fucking die. Then, oh fucking well, so be it. One can never skip over the natural process during the action phase of self-improvement and shadow work. Improvements must be done right, not hastily. Don't try to rush to get it done quickly. Do it right. Action must be conducted in such a way as to meet the necessary requirements, which may not be skirted or ignored or skipped over. No bypassing. There are absolutely no shortcuts for corrective action to solve problems. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop imagining that shortcuts even exist for such processes. It is a total self-defeating illusion. No shortcuts exist. Hard work exists, and it has to be done right. Spend the time to do what is required the right way, even if the right way is the hard way. Then do it the fucking hard way. That's it. Did your parents tell you that?
Yeah.
Did your teachers tell you that?
I did.
Did your clergy tell you that? Did your friends and family tell you that? I'll bet you virtually zero of them did. And if you had anybody that told you that, you're lucky. You're lucky as hell.
I'm lucky.
My
parents are great.
Engage true present moment awareness as part of action. You have to be fully present to do the behavior that's required. One of the most important steps of occult initiation is also a critical component of shadow work. This is the maximum to live in the present moment, the moment of now, the only moment that really exists.
Indeed.
Stop having regret for the past and anxiety for the future. Now is the only thing that exists. While essential to all three stages of AAA shadow work methodology, Present moment awareness is absolutely fundamental when it comes to the action phase of shadow work. Being truly present for a necessary plan of action is a dynamic that sadly escapes most people's understanding. Present moment awareness doesn't mean that you are seeing time in some new age, undefinable, non-existent perspective.
There's actually a quote about that one. It's what is it? You can't change the past; it's already gone. The future hasn't happened yet, so stop stressing. Just focus on, and now is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Do you know how much I enjoy my life anyway? That's the thing. I'm pretty happy. I know there's in this is shadow work thing. It's all about self-improvement type things like that. But you've got to think to yourself. Most of us, there's a lot of things we were all doing right as well. So yeah.
Instead of focusing on everything you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
There's always things that
you are doing right.
You want to correct.
Yeah.
You realize that because there's a few things you want to correct, doesn't mean that you're completely fucking up in everything else.
No.
Everyone's got things they need to fix.
No, it's all about it's ethics in a way, Anyway,
ethics, morals,
Yeah. Anyway, back to the show.
It doesn't mean ignore time, folks, for people to think that. And it doesn't mean get lost in everything such that you don't even understand what time it is. That's not present moment awareness. It means that you are fully present when you are doing a behavior and not existing in a state of distraction or anxiety about what the future may bring.
Yeah, trouble with that.
It's the principle of non-distractibility, which we're going to talk about. It means that you have fully and completely shown up to perform the task at hand, and you're not zoning out. You're not going to allow any other dynamics that present themselves to take you off your mission to accomplish that task. You're fully present and you're fully on mission. And you're not just zoning out all over the fucking place, not focusing in, not letting distracting thoughts take you off your mission path.
I get that a bit.
And this brings us to the principle of non-distractibility. This is what elitist occult parents teach to their children. They teach them how to not be distracted by anything that happens in their environment and focus in on the attainment of their goals. And that's why they're so much more effective people than we are. And that's why they're able to enslave us. Because they are effective individuals who practice the principle of non-distractibility and actually accomplish the work that they set out to do, instead of being the wishy-washy losers that people in the so-called freedom movement or the average schlub is. I'm telling
what
you,
do you do now?
Cold, harsh truth.
Again.
What?
Some elite.
Oh, what am I doing?
That's what I said. I said stop touching buttons, stop playing with the mouse.
No, I was just putting a comment in the fucking chat room. That's all I was doing.
I'll go back and just click on the watch stream thing.
Yep.
Hopefully that should just work again.
Yep. So I just clicked out over that. Fucking hell, that should be playing. Can you press play?
Yeah.
Families teach their children.
I know there's there's that delay in it, before it comes back.
Their young children. Oh, I'm sorry. Something that elitist families teach.
So I can't even fucking type in the fucking chat room then.
That sucks.
This mental dynamic.
This is honestly as easy as I could try and make it for you. Sorry, man.
Yeah, that's okay.
From the immediate
task
at hand in the present moment. It is
stop moving the mouse.
Contrary to stubborn popular belief, the idea that multitasking is a desirable ability is actually a nonsensical and self-defeating dynamic
on your phone.
which often creates distraction with respect to the achievement of desired goals.
Yeah, look at my phone.
And that's why
I've got to do that before.
Families and bloodlines and social engineers want to teach you and tell you that to try to aspire to do incredible amounts of multitasking at whatever task you're engaged in is preferable, is something that you should seek out and find preferable to do. They want you failing. This is the surest way to fail, is to say, I'm going to set out to multitask all different endeavors at the same time. You have to focus in relentlessly on one task at hand and then get it done and then move on to the next task. You do not split your attention and attempt to multitask. Anybody telling you to do this is either a liar or a fucking moron. And you want to believe it? Go ahead and believe liars and fucking morons. Go ahead and be an effective fucking dumb person. Go right the fuck ahead. That's your choice. But I'm telling you what the real shit is from the fucking people who are ruling the fucking world and how they got to that level. Not that we should aspire to rule the world, but we should aspire to fucking be as intelligent as them so we can stop them from implementing their agenda to enslave everyone. When setting an action plan, do one thing at a time. Be fully present and undistracted by other tasks while doing it, and do it the right way to the best of your ability. I'm going to say that sentence again. When setting an action plan in the third stage of the shadow work method, do one thing at a time. Be fully present and undistracted by any other task while doing that one thing, and do that one thing the right way to the very best of your ability. You do that, you're going to achieve success in that thing. You don't do that, you're going to be a totally ineffective fuck up. So, you choose. Here are the elements of a strong and effective action plan. Truly effective plans of action contain some basic shared characteristics. The very first characteristic of a good action plan is that it should be kept simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Start there. Don't over-complexify. Don't overcomplicate.
Turn the volume down.
Keep it simple and elegant. Here are the elements of a strong. Make it so that a 4-year-old child can understand the action plan. One should never overcomplicate an action plan or make it overly elaborate. That will ensure that its goals remain fuzzy and its implementation remains elusive. The second characteristic of a good action plan is that it should be well defined, meaning the steps to manifest the plan should be clearly and distinctly spelled out and should never be nebulous. They should never be fuzzy, hazy plans of action, steps of action. They should be very distinctly and clearly spelled out. Other characteristics for a good plan of action: make sure that it is feasible within the limits of your resources. Don't set overly grandiose plans that are going to require.
Speaking of resources, all I do is exchange fluids.
Not going to require those resources to do that. Make it simple and feasible within the limits of your existing resources, your attainable and existing resources, and set measurable and timed goals for the plan. So, I'm making the shadow work seminar. I'm saying I need this much time to promote. I have to set it out into the future by this many months to get people to enroll. There's measurable and timed goals. I need to know I have time to make all my slides and get them looking correct and get all the concepts and ideas formulated in the way that I want that can be clearly expressed. That's a plan of action. That's not just some nebulous bullshit that I just float some ideas out there on one day and don't actually concretize them into a fully formulated action plan with set measurable and timed goals. You can't be some pie in the sky, new age, grandiose idea person with no practical way of carrying out those ideas. Do you know how many times I sat with people in the Tesla Science Foundation that were coming up with the most ridiculous, grandiose schemes of what to do for conferences? And I'm like, how the fuck are you going to pay for that? Do you know what the budget for this fucking conference is? It's under $20,000. You're talking about one thing you want to do for one part of the conference weekend that would cost $180,000 fucking dollars. Are you out of your fucking mind? Or more, or maybe 200 guys. And you think you're going to
Gotta be realistic.
Investors are just going to come out of the woodwork for a little fucking conference here? You got to make it practicable. You have to have measurable, set, timed goals that are accomplishable, that are feasible, not pie in the sky bullshit, willy nilly. I wish to do this, and so the universe is suddenly going to come along and grant me all my wishes. This is a fucking genie in a bottle, folks. This is doing what is practical and feasible with the resources at your disposal. And there's tons and tons and tons that can be done under those characteristics. Tons. So let's look at some simple action plans, and we'll define how we formulate them and carry them out. So once again, folks, it all starts and ends with worldview. If you don't understand that, make that one of your big takeaways of this seminar.
Yeah,
so we need an action
like
plan
that.
for healing.
That was the very first episode Ellen did.
We make a commitment to healing it in step 2.
Yeah, this was like the first episode that, like right at the start of the seminar, the first episode that Ellen played that's to do with this. And I found it quite interesting because if you cannot actually make yourself realize that shit can get better, shit will get better, and you are not stuck, if you can't actually, picture it, if you can't imagine that things can and will get better, then the rest of what he said, as he said in that first one, the rest of what he says is a waste of time, and you're just going to sabotage yourself anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
So you've got to actually fully indoctrinate yourself with the fact that, shit can get better if I put in effort.
Yeah.
So you have to believe that before you can start actually doing it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do what I can anyway, and you'll do what you can anyway. But it's good for the rest of the audience, if there's got any, to watch this thing. Because, hey, and the good thing about this show thing that I'm doing, is going to be saved on YouTube, because it's nothing spectacular. I haven't been banned or anything, because it's and I think it's on YouTube anyway. But I think our conversation puts another aspect to it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's we're discussing the things he says rather than just being like a full-on indoctrination thing.
Yep. Yeah. Back to work then.
We make an action.
The shadow work.
In step 3. The very first dynamic one should work is to heal one's own worldview. Okay? Once it has been acknowledged that improvement is required when it comes to our personal worldview, again, about what is possible, about what human nature is, about what our work is to do to actually make improvements with ourselves and our world, that entire worldview has to come first. It's understanding what is possible and what needs to be done. So, when it comes to worldview, and once one has understood what is wrong with the worldview, and once one is committed to the improvement of one's worldview through proper affirmation, then an action plan must be initiated. We have to draw up a proper action plan. So for basic effectiveness and simplicity, I will be citing very simple 3-step action plans. Lo and behold, they're simple 3-step plans following the trivium for the examples that I will provide in this section of the seminar. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate. Make it feasible. Set measurable and timed goals. Here we go. An example of a good action plan regarding worldview healing is such. Step number 1. Watch 3 inspirational videos per week dealing with personal stories where people were shown to change from bad people to good people with hard work over time. There's tons of inspirational documentaries and stories like that.
Yeah, I'm not really happy on that. We watch enough videos as it is.
So now you're implanting the programming into your own worldview. Positive change.
By all means, watch some.
People who used to be bad people can become good people. People who used to be ignorant people can become holistically intelligent people. People who were immoral can learn true morality. There's an endless amount of examples regarding that. Action plan number 2 to heal worldview. Step 2. Find 3 books dealing with the science of epigenetics and read them all the way through. This will get you to understand where programming comes from, how it is environmentally programmed into us through culture, how we are not chained by genetics, and that behavior can change regardless where in the world we live, what circumstances we have had to endure. It's all about programming. And if you don't understand the science of epigenetics and haven't studied it yet, you're missing one of the biggest, most gigantic pieces of the puzzle. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in this section. Action plan for healing worldview. Step number 3, adjust your diet to exclude many refined foods and toxins, and to include adaptogens, detoxification agents, and nootropics. So get the toxins out, get some good things in. Habituate this over time.
What the fuck's a nootropic?
Adjust your diet over a month to do this. Take some adaptogenic powders or adaptogenic mushrooms. Take some detoxification agents like NAC or methylene blue. Take some nootropics. It will help with brain chemistry and thought and alertness, and see how you feel. And then adjust it. That's part of an overall action plan. And this is part of understanding change is possible and healing worldview. So you're going to get toxins out, proving that if you take some real world action and then you put good things and nutrients into the body, you'll see positive change. Positive change is possible. It requires hard work. Okay? So this is about understanding people can change. We are not bound by our genes. And if we do the right things, we'll see right results over time. There's tons and tons and tons of people in this world that are living proof of it. Including myself, not excluding myself. Okay? So you do that homework and you adjust your worldview. Simple, 3-step, non-complicated, feasible, and timed action plans. Not difficult. It's about habituating that good behavior to make the desired result manifest. Here's an action plan to increase your own holistic intelligence. People have called this spiritual intelligence. I think that's a great name for holistic intelligence.
You back, DK?
Because there's intellect, there's
pause it for a sec.
Intuition.
Fuck. So I just lose the point. The word shadow. What's that about? Through watching this before, I don't understand the word. Why is shadow a thing? What do you think?
I think it's supposed to be like work behind the scenes, like within yourself, like work on the shadow within you type thing. It's like, some of the stuff that he says, as I said, is still straight from satanic-y type shit.
And I think the word shadow is part of that.
Yeah. That's what I mean. He's still using a lot of words and concepts that have negative connotations. And he's trying to include them into his way to actually improve yourself. So that's really weird because it seems inspiring, but anyone watching or anything realize take what you can that is good, but fucking watch out for. Yeah, exactly. You don't 100% believe anything anyone says.
That's right.
That's all it ever comes down to.
Except for me.
There's this in here that I like, and I don't really trust the guy. But there's still bits that I like.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get back into it then, eh?
Yeah.
You can call that nurturing intelligence or creative intelligence, but putting them both together, that's holistic or spiritual intelligence, which is synchronizing the whole brain. To increase holistic intelligence, one must first identify which hemisphere of the brain needs balancing. We all have tendencies for imbalance toward either the left or the right brain hemisphere. So once a diagnosis is made regarding which hemispheres must be worked more, a simple action plan can then be developed to create balance and synergy between left brain and right brain modalities of thought and consciousness in the mind. An example of a good action plan regarding the development of holistic intelligence follows. 3-step, simple, practical, feasible action plan. Step number 1, allot 2 hours for memory, focus, and concentration exercises. Allot an additional 2 hours to meditation, music, and art during the course of a day or a couple of days. Take 2 hours for memory, focus, concentration, memorization, things that operate the serial processor of the brain, the left brain. Then
Most people couldn't remember.
The right hemisphere.
Sorry?
Allot an additional 2 hours, maybe during the
Doesn't
What was
matter.
that?
Yeah, most people couldn't remember to do the mental exercises.
I like doing that things. That's why I look for like the free IQ tests and stuff online.
Yeah.
I like actually doing that stuff. I mean, I don't do 2 hours a day sort of thing.
I
I enjoy doing that.
I actually been thinking recently that's something I could engage in more in too. Because oh fuck.
I'll give you another YouTube channel later on. There's one that's just about like it basically just has like either spelling games or cognitive games or stuff. But it's live all day, so you can answer in the chat.
Yeah. Don't know if I want to do that, but anyway, send me the link anyway. See what happens. Back to the show.
Course of a single day, to meditation, to music, and to art. You will see holistic intelligence increase over time just by doing those things, instead of engaging one dynamic or another perpetually. Number 2, second step of the action plan. Spend a portion of each day working on the organization of either a physical or digital environment. Literally work on organizing your house, organizing your clothes, organizing your kitchen supplies, organizing, food supplies. Go into a digital space like a computer and organize your files if you know how. Spend the time to learn how to do that first, obviously, but then spend time organizing your digital life. Spend an equal amount of time during the course of any given day, after you've done those things with physical and digital environments, completely daydreaming, contemplating things, or just thinking intuitively. So one's going to engage the serial processor of the brain, the left brain. That's the organizational component. One's going to involve the heuristic side of the brain with daydreaming and contemplation and intuitive thinking. Before you know it, you're going to develop more holistic intelligence. Practical action items, not nebulous pie in the sky thinking, folks. Boots on the ground, practical, feasible action items. Number 3, for a couple of hours each day, do a physical task with the opposite hand you usually use for the task.
Yeah.
Use a mouse on the computer.
That can be taken in so many ways.
Yep.
Than you usually do. Okay? When you cross tasks with hands that you normally always do with the same hand, you are using the opposite side of the brain to do that because the opposite side of the brain controls the opposite side.
To be honest, I actually do that lots. One simple thing that I do is like a lot of the time when I'm typing in chats and things, I'm only typing with one hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a beer or a cigarette in one hand. So most of my typing I'm doing with just one hand. Like it's like one-handed with either my left hand or my right hand and shit.
Yeah.
But that's something that I've been doing. So I guess I've already been working on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But the left brain controls the right side, the right brain controls the left side, generally. When you mix that process up, you are telling the brain, stop segregating and stop operating with synchronous intelligence. They do this with martial arts all the time. You have to do the same task that you do in a left lead and then do it in a right lead with your stance. Okay? So you should be ambidextrous when it comes to certain tasks, or just practice ambidextrous behavior by switching up hands.
I do that all the time.
It's actually not something I've heard said, but I practice it with the typing anyway.
Yeah.
We think, this is just it's going to come to us somehow. No, we can learn how to understand causality. There are action plans for this, ladies and gentlemen. To truly understand causality, the why that underlies all physical manifestation that happens in our world, one must change their thinking at a fundamental level, focusing on governing dynamics of reality instead of the effects that have already manifested in the physical domain. You will never understand causality simply by looking at the effects of what happened. You have to go to the underlying cause that drove the effect into manifestation. This is understanding how all things are governed by laws. They're not random. So, a simple action plan for learning causality in the universe is a 3-step process. And again, we could do millions of these. This is just one example. It's not just how to do it. It's a few examples of how to do it. That's all. There could be millions of examples of how to do the same task. Okay? But here's a simple 3-fold example. Examine life patterns and choices that have led to either desired or undesired results. And then imagine in your own mind how completely different patterns and choices would manifest entirely different results in the present moment. Meaning, let's say you had maybe a husband or a wife who died from, let's say, I don't know, heart disease because they became so obese because of their life choices in diet and lack of exercise. And they didn't take care of the physical vehicle. They got super overweight and obese. They developed a heart condition, and eventually they passed far younger than they should have.
Yeah, we're getting to the vegetarian section shortly.
Pounders, do you?
Oh, really?
I'm sorry to just put it out like that, but you don't.
He's,
Really,
but that's okay, yeah. Go let it play.
Because they develop health.
He did mention earlier about, like, you know, fixing your diet and stuff, but he didn't go, like, he didn't say go vegetarian.
No. He actually, I preempted it. He sort of says having a couple of days off. Probably not a bad thing. Yeah, carry on.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, I do that anyway because I can hardly afford meat over here now.
Yeah.
And eventually they die before their time. So, look at the life choice through exercise, through diet, through nutrition. Look at how they fail. Then imagine, what if they really did engage in true nutrition and healthy life choices and exercise daily? Maybe they could have dropped a bunch of weight and lived to be 93 or 4. Who knows? Or even older. So that's part 1. Do that mental exercise. Part 2. Contemplate what would happen if order followers refused to conduct harm on the orders of their so-called superiors.
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
How would the result harm? If they were to exterminate Jews in the
As he contemplate what would happen.
Nazi reign from what, 33?
Nazi reign.
How would they have done it without all the order followers in the SS, the Gestapo, and the SA, the Sturmabteilung, the SS, the Schutzstaffel? How, without all those willing order followers, would they have basically waged a campaign of pogroms against certain individuals? Jews, Nazis, Jews,
What a shit.
not pogroms,
Commies. Bolsheviks.
I don't remember the term. They're like Eastern European wanderers. I don't know why they come to sleep.
Gypsies.
Even occultists and Freemasons, they conducted campaigns of wiping them out. Regardless of who you want to talk about, just contemplate what would happen if the order followers said, no, we're not doing those immoral behaviors. And that was all signed into law as well. Let's not forget that. All of that was done legally with the full permission of government. Through all the legal frameworks in the courts.
I can't imagine what would have happened if they didn't do anything.
Starting to tell me, hey, it's not about the order followers, or it's not about what people are seeing as acceptable morally just because it's quote-unquote legal. This is all about the change of a framework and what the causal factors that people are doing things because of. Because they've accepted nonsense and they've accepted bullshit religious notions and bullshit political notions to do the wrong thing. Number 3, action item plan. To grasp true causal factors. Find and read 2 books from esoteric occult traditions such as Hermeticism, Freemasonry, Rosicrucianism, or Theosophy that examine the occult laws of cause and effect.
Yeah, read more about Freemasonry and Rosicrucians. Yeah.
It's about those unseen natural laws that operate
notice that.
and govern our behavior at a fundamental level. So study the laws of cause and effect in these occult traditions, and you'll begin to understand causal factors. And as a result, you'll really begin to understand natural law. None of this stuff is unattainable. This is all stuff that is actually feasible within everybody's.
What was that?
I'm seeing what he's doing.
Yeah. See, maybe he did leave the stop being a satanic priest, but maybe he just went from that into Freemasonry.
Maybe.
So maybe he's just pushing like Freemason agenda on everyone. Maybe it isn't completely satanic. Maybe it's Freemason agenda.
We'll find out one day.
Yeah, well, see, I'm still not 100% sure what Hermeticism means, but yeah, definitely Theosophy. But I'm not reading shit about Freemasonry.
Yeah.
And I'm not overly keen on looking up anything about Rosicrucianism either.
Yeah.
They're all just indoctrination, and both of them.
And he's promoting them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically that. Those are basically cult religious indoctrinations in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't know what he's on about sometimes.
Yes.
I'm not going to present anything that is grandiose or impossible. Because, you know why? There's no excuses for not practicing any of this, for not actually engaging in right action through plans like this. Here's an action plan to give birth to true care, agape care. All too often we don't take necessary action simply because we don't care quite enough. Care, true care, agape care, is the dynamic that ultimately gives birth to right action in the world. But if care isn't present in enough quantity or quality, we need an action plan to develop true care. A good example of an action plan to develop true care within yourself is the following. Step number 1, contemplate those who fought and died in the American Revolution, and imagine how much darker this world would presently be had they not made the sacrifices of care to do what was morally right in that time period, to actually beat back the advances of the British, form a new country that placed individual sovereignty to the level that it did, and also taught people that the form of republic that it was forming was only for good and moral people.
Yeah,
and if we didn't have that,
Jews pay both sides.
What's that?
Jews pay both sides. Don't sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that, should I?
It's all right. You're allowed to, I think, as long as you don't go too far. That's why I didn't go into it when he was thinking about Nazis.
No, it was. Yeah, well, let's face it's all over YouTube, man. Shouldn't matter. Anyway, back to the show as we go.
Everybody living today would already be fucked and enslaved completely. Far worse to the level that we are enslaved now. It would be chattel bondage.
Sure.
People ought to bend over and kiss the fucking ass of the people that waged the fucking American Revolution. Only miles from here, some of the battles were fought. 10 minutes away. And those people gave the ultimate fucking sacrifice, their whole lives, and died to just give us the opportunity to secure freedom. And look at what we're doing with it. We don't even want to learn a fucking computer system to fucking teach people morality. These people took fucking bayonets with fucking bleeding feet in the fucking ice. Took bayonets in their fucking heart. That's how much they cared about being and remaining free and securing freedom for their fucking children to come after them. And we're squandering their very fucking blood. Compare that to the lack of sacrifice of people today. To call it an embarrassment is an understatement. It's tragic, is what it is. It's a tragedy. It's a horror story. It's mournful. That's one of my new favorite words to use about the condition of humanity. It's fucking mournful. Mournful. And the people who don't understand that, I feel fucking pity for you. If you're from other countries and you don't get what was done here, and why, and how important it is to the whole fucking planet. If you don't get that, you don't get shit.
Yeah, right.
I'll die on that fucking hill. I'll die on that fucking hill.
I'll have to debate him myself.
That doesn't mean America was
it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It was never perfect. But let me tell you something. It's better than anywhere else, and it has remained the highest consciousness nation on this planet. You can say whatever you want about the fucking assholes running this country, and believe me, they're fucking satanic losers. However, nobody is going to tell me that consciousness is any higher anywhere on earth than it is right here in the United States. That's where this information's coming from. That's where I learned most of the information that I know, from people who lived right fucking here and did great things. Because they had the opportunity to, because it was free to at least an extent that they were able to develop those characters and characteristics and qualities. And thank fucking God, or we wouldn't even be having a discussion like this. The world, if America falls, the whole fucking godless fucking world falls. And you better know that like you know your fucking ass.
This is making me laugh now.
Imagine the suffering of trafficked and tortured children all over this planet.
Yeah, I read
and how much worse the suffering of children will be if we lose the battle for human freedom.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Fucking pedophiles are completely allowed to run fucking amok. The amount of children they're already fucking murdering and torturing is unfathomable. Imagine if the world's freedom completely fucking falls, what these fucking satanic elitists will do to children. They'll roast them on fucking fucking spits in public spectacle and eat them in front of you. And if you don't think that's how far it'll go, you're fucking crazy and naive. Number 3, research and understand the suffering of animals and the tortures they go through on a daily basis as beasts of burden and so-called food.
And I'm guessing this is the bit you were mentioning earlier where he starts going into veganism and shit.
Yeah, but it's worth a listen anyway.
I won't eat any cage-grown food. This is why I hardly get to eat meat, because trying to find decent meat that isn't like from cage-raised bullshit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's actually a lot more, it's difficult to find in the first place and more expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm against beasts of burden. That's shit. Horses used to pull plows before people had tractors. So I don't know what he's on about, because without horses pulling a plow, they're not even growing as damn vegetables.
Apparently horse leather is all good leather.
Does it? Well, let's see if you can find some.
Yeah, well, you'd think there'd be some out there, wouldn't you? No one ever mentions it in the leatherwork market.
Well, there must be, because, horses die.
Yeah.
So, it's not like they live forever and things, and I know when, horses break legs, especially, with race horses and things.
Yeah, but...
when they break legs, it's like they just get turned into, dog food, cat food.
Yeah, but what happens to their hides? Because I never see them.
Yeah, why not use the rest of them as well?
Yeah.
They're feeding animals with those animals. What about utilising the rest of them?
Because apparently horse hides make good leather strops. Leather strop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Animals are there, to be utilised. It's not like people have been vegetarian forever. In fact, it was the opposite way around.
Yeah. It is actually the enslavement of capture of animals stuff is somewhat barbaric anyway, but that is human nature in this to some extent.
No, see, for me, it comes down to how they're treated. You know,
yeah.
They might have a purpose you use them for.
Yeah.
As long as you're actually nice to them, feed them, they've got a place to run around and everything. You know.
Yeah, kill them.
I'm fully against cage. I'm fully against cage-raised animals and shit like that. Yeah, I hate the mess.
Of course, we all do. Kill them quickly, get it over and done with, and then we'll eat them. Anyway, back to the video.
And imagine that happening to your fucking children. But it's just for my taste buds and my food. Yeah.
Imagine that happening to your children. Holy shit.
You don't need to look too far. The answer lies at the nearest fucking slaughter factory. And people will be cold and callous about that. And that's what I mean. You don't have fucking true care. Watch the Earthlings documentary to understand what we do to animals on a daily fucking basis. And if you're not quivering in a fucking fetal position, there's something wrong with your fucking heart. Let alone your fucking brain. You must be some fucking psychopathic, demonic loser. And that's the problem. We don't even consider these things. We don't even think about them ever. It's just my patient comfort has to come first. My taste buds have to come first.
Let's dream about this shit.
And hey, I'm not just setting up and dying on that hill. That's why I'm not a militant vegan. I'm just saying what is. I'm just saying it honestly and giving people exercises to ponder and contemplate. You want to develop true care? That's what you better start thinking about, things like that. Here's an action plan for the development of effective diagnostics for problem solving. So you can develop the ability to diagnose and solve problems. You can work at that. Wasn't just born good at that. You think I always knew how to troubleshoot computing systems like I do now, or like I did when I was doing that professionally?
There's a bit of an ego.
It's a lot of knowledge. You practice every day.
I bet.
I was not just damn good. Tri-state, Delaware Valley area. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, up into northern New Jersey, close to New York.
I'll be back shortly. I gotta exchange fluids.
I was the best technical troubleshooter in that whole region of the country. Certainly for Macintosh systems, for Macs. Windows I knew almost as well. Linux, not quite as well, but Macs, I was the expert in that system, in that operating system. So, without accurate diagnosis, we can never make large strides in the world of self-improvement. We need effective action plans for self-diagnostics and problem solving. In other words, how to troubleshoot our life situations. A simple action plan for this follows. Step 1, study the trivium education methodology. You want to learn diagnostics? Learn the trivium. That's the truth discovery method, and it will reveal the truth about the causal factors for problems. Diagnostics. Study the trivium education methodology. It is the greatest method of diagnostics for both large-scale and small-scale problems ever devised. That's why it's no longer taught in the education system. It's been removed because they don't want the average Joe Schmo and Sally Schmo to learn effective diagnostics for problem solving. They want you throwing your hands up and saying, well, I don't know, what can I do about it? The trivium will teach you what to do about it. Step number 2, practice troubleshooting on systems such as computers or household technology. And again, that's just physical diagnostics. That's not even philosophical diagnostics, right? This can help you improve identification of causal relationships, after which similar diagnostic methods can be developed for application to other areas of life, particularly philosophical areas of life and psychological areas of life. Number 3, read and take notes on Richard W. Wetherell's book, How to Solve Problems and Prevent Trouble. It's a diagnostic manual for life. It's a diagnostic manual for the understanding of natural law. All of Wetherell's books are, quite frankly. He was a genius when it came to the understanding of natural law and morality. Develop an action plan to develop more willpower And instead of saying, I can't do it, say, I can do it. Only through the development of willpower do we actively engage in right action to reach our goals. Willpower must literally be built like a muscle through consistency and repetition. A good action plan to develop willpower follows. Number one, practice following through with simple everyday behaviors like organization or cleaning without giving up or leaving it for later. Do it now and finish it. Simple tasks. Force your will upon it until it is completed. Don't just let it go or leave it. This builds neural pathways in the brain that tell us, do it until it's finished. Go all the way. Don't do it half-assed. Those neural pathways get built through that kind of behavior. Number two, make small changes in diet that you have previously avoided making and stick with those changes to habituate them. You don't have to go all in all at once. Make small changes to your nutritional intake, for the better, of course, and habituate those changes over time. That's development of willpower.
Yeah, my diet's pretty sorted.
Maybe you say, Monday and Tuesday of every week, I'm not going to eat any meat or fish. I will eliminate that from my diet for 2 days.
Stop for a minute. Because well, I'm finding I wouldn't say quite fasting, but I'm eating less these days. But only when I'm hungry, and but still, I only eat maybe twice a day, and that works for me.
When I was working, it's twice a day, and when I'm not working, it's once a day.
Oh, right,
When I was younger, I basically wouldn't eat, like, even when I was working.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
But you're a skinny little ranger. You're a skinny little ranger.
Which means I should be eating more to keep weight on. But no, I wouldn't eat from like Friday lunchtime till Sunday night. And I used to do that almost every weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, seriously. I used to do it almost every single weekend. I basically just wouldn't eat over the weekends. Yeah.
4 and then 5.
Now, well, back to work.
Small incremental changes habituated over time are the keys and pathways to success. Number 3, delay a personal gratification until one specific goal is accomplished. I'm not going to go see that music band that I wanted to go see that plays in this area until I get my presentation on natural law done. You see, you delay a personal gratification. You say, I'm going to put this off. I'm going to put that on the back burner. I will not focus on that. I will focus on something and sacrifice something that I want to do to totally accomplish one of my desired goals. And you finish that goal, and then you reward yourself after. The elitist families of our world do this all the time.
Yeah, the reward system is a good thing if you can stick to it.
Until goals are achieved. And then it's but not until you actually manifest what you want to manifest in the world, goal-wise. Here's an action plan to care for and activate the physical body, because that's the 5th and final maxim of occult initiation. Activate the physical body. This is exceptionally important because the body adds human consciousness.
Okay. So shadow work is occult initiation. Just clicked to what? Yeah. Because he said occult initiation a few times.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So shadow work is occult initiation. And do realize occult just means hidden knowledge. Everyone automatically thinks the worst side of everything.
No, but I'm good with that. And because as I've said all along, I think there's good information in here that the audience will appreciate if anyone actually watches this. To anyone that watches this in the future, me and DK say, "G'day, mate," or I'll say, "G'day, mate." Say g'day to.
Welcome everyone. Yeah, welcome everyone, and believe me, it has been worth watching. There is quite a bit in it that is definitely worth thinking about.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm of the opinion that like no one's 100% right. I mean, if everything he said was 100% right, then shouldn't he be perfect right now?
Now, perfection is not the answer. Yeah, no one wants a fucking perfection.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, if everything he said was 100% right and he's done all of it.
Yeah, well, 100% is nothing. Nothing is 100%.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He still comes across as a cunt, so it's not working yet.
Yeah. Just back to the show, folks.
More than implementation and manifestation of all of the requirements for self-actualization of freedom. You're not going to be able to do those things without a healthy body. So if you're neglecting the health of the body and your nutrition is completely out of whack, you're going to have brain fog. You're not going to understand the diagnostics of problems and what the solutions are, and you're not going to be able to implement them through action plans that require the body. That means get your body in order. Where the body goes, the mind follows, and vice versa. The body-mind connection must be fully realized and deeply respected. If you're putting shit fuel into your body, you're going to have a ton of brain fog, and you're not going to be able to think straight. And your body's going to be weak and beat down and unhealthy. You put the right fuels through nutrition into the body, and you habituate that process, you're going to be strong, you're going to be able to think right, you're not going to have brain fog, you're going to understand what the action plan needs to be, you're going to be able to help morally educate other people clearly and effectively. This is common sense, practical, real-world physical goals. You don't need to be some muscle master, right? I'm not telling everybody to go out there and try to be a bodybuilder. I'm saying get your health in order so that it's not a constant nag upon what you wish to achieve. And it's acting as an anchor and holding you back because you're constantly at doctors, you're constantly sick. Care for the physical vehicle. It's going to be necessary for anything you want to manifest in life. So here's an action plan for care and activation of the physical body. Number one, incorporate more whole, fresh, plant-based foods into your diet while diminishing processed foods, meat, and dairy. And if
nothing wrong with meat and dairy if you find organic.
You haven't studied
Yep.
correct information. And again, I'm not making it the hill I set up and die on, but I'm saying there's a truth to the matter. And if you think it's other than what I just laid out there, you don't have the truth in hand or in mind. That's it. I'm just stating what's true.
It's sort of valid what he's saying, but
Do simple physical exercise on a daily basis, like
dairy is organic.
Simple gym
It's
training.
good. Taking good for you.
Figure out what you want to do that works for you.
It's hard to find the organic.
Or at least every other day. You know?
indeed.
Number three, choose and practice at least one form of the martial arts on at least a weekly basis. Even if it's a light form, practice some form of self-defense. Because most likely in your lifetime in the physical world, you're going to need it. Okay? Real-world action plans for the body and self-defense. Here's an action plan. Just make personal sacrifices and actually put skin in the game for the war for freedom. Nothing great ever comes without sacrifice. Truer words could never be spoken. If you want to accomplish great and important things, you have to make the sacrifices that go along with those things, the accomplishment of those things.
Yep.
Without sacrificing comfort and pleasure, very few, if any, of our long-term goals will ever manifest in our lives. This is what most teachers will never teach you. We must learn to leave the so-called comfort zone, as it is really a prison that keeps us from achieving self-realization.
Pause it for a moment.
A good action.
Yeah, I was about to. I was just waiting for him to finish like that statement.
Yeah, right. If ever you're unhappy with the outcome, just lower your expectations.
Well, for me, I can give an actual example. It's like when I first went out and started recording at all the protests and things that I started going out to and things. It was quite difficult to go out and start recording by myself at all these protests and things. And I was constantly getting called a Fed, asking who I was because, you know, a lot of them already knew each other and had for like a while.
The feds never did pay, did they?
No, like not shitting you. It's like I was actually getting called a vet. People were asking who I am, what am I recording for, like everything else. Like I had that happen so many times when I first started doing it, and then still had to go out the next time I heard about a protest and go and start recording.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until I'd actually done it a few times and people saw me tune up and recording all the time. I told people where I was uploading things. So people went and looked at what I actually had uploaded, obviously, to check me out and see if I was full of shit or not. But then I started actually getting asked to go to things. But I had to put in the effort first of all. Like I had to actually just put myself out there and start doing it. It wasn't like, I didn't know people. I met a lot of people after doing it 3-4 times, 5 times even. I don't even know how many before I actually started getting invited to shit and actually met people properly. And it's actually hard work to do it to start with.
And how's that working out for you?
Yeah, good now. Because I can go out to most of these things and I get asked to go to a lot of these things now.
Nice.
I mean, I've publicly spoken a few times. I know you have as well.
Yeah.
But it's hard to start. But once you start and you actually recognize a few people, it gets easier. And then you're even starting to get asked to go to these things and stuff.
Yeah.
You come along to this, record, this is what we're doing. You know, people actually start asking, but you've got to you've got to like actually leave that comfort zone and go do it to start with.
Yeah, well, I need to go do that, I guess, don't I? I need to go do that because I can do it, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I don't at the moment. I only do my show, which is fuck all.
I mean, like recording in public type shit. Like That's a lot harder than most people realize. They're actually going out and recording in public because you're basically putting your name, your face out there and everything every time you do it.
Okay, mate, back to the show.
Plan to manifest the necessary sacrifices and put skin in the game in the war for freedom are, here's a threefold action plan. Curtail your usual entertainment activities for a few weeks or months. Instead, use that time to create some form of educational outreach, such as a video, a podcast, a presentation, or a live event, such as this.
We were just talking about that.
Project scope. It could be a half an hour. But put your usual comfort in place.
I got my mum to come round, got my brother to come round,
just for a small amount of time.
got my dad to come round.
And build the neural pathway.
I'll have to come over.
It's okay. And I need to engage.
Yeah, I got you to come over. Sure.
And then make some more educational content of some kind. Number 2, start speaking to family members and friends about matters of worldwide importance that affect the freedom of all people. And maybe some people have done this and they haven't had much success. Well, keep doing it. Don't just give up and say they're not willing to listen. Find some common ground to speak with them about and then work some of these matters of true importance into the conversation.
Yep.
Number 3, find a truly worthwhile cause that already exists in the service to human freedom in some form and volunteer to provide assistance in some form to that organization.
Community gardening.
How many people who live in my area may have been able to contribute to helping with my work? And they don't because they just want to be comfortable and they just want their creature comfort and pleasure. I've been asking for help in this area for years and only a few people have ever come to the table. It's very sad. I'm grateful for the help I have received, but I definitely need more help and higher level help as far as understanding computing and programming. It would be of great assistance were I to be able to receive that. But most people who have those skills don't want to sacrifice. Most people who want to help don't have those skills. That's the issue.
Yep.
This is all about practical action.
I don't have the skills that he wants.
All practicable.
Well, maybe you do.
Ideas.
Computer programming and shit. I don't have that.
To engage in true responsibility. Real responsibility is the personal dynamic we engage when we rise to the truly important challenges in life, like facing injustice and slavery head on, and setting our lives in order enough to activate and participate in that critical work. It means not everything has to be perfect in your life, but your life can't be a train wreck to the extent that you can't even get involved in the great work. You have to organize your life to the extent that you can do something, that you can participate, you can engage, you can assist in some form.
Yep.
There's a role for everybody. An action plan for engaging true responsibility. 1. Practice removing excuses for why you have not activated in the great work of ending human slavery out of your mental and physical vocabulary. Take the excuses out of your speech, out of the equation entirely. Just start with that. Don't provide excuses. Don't do this. Don't go,
Hey, Jamie, welcome.
I have
Good to
kids.
see you here, bud.
I gotta go to work every day. No one gives a rat fuck. It doesn't matter. Those are just things that everybody's got to fucking deal with. You got to do true responsibility and true engagement in the great work on top of that other shit. And fuck off if you disagree. You got to do it on top of that. No excuses.
Fuck off.
Number 2, take on some real responsibility in the war for freedom by getting directly involved in moral education and activism for just causes, especially moral education. I'm not as big on activism causes as I maybe once was. I'm not saying they're completely worthless, but getting directly involved in moral education is the absolute number 1 factor that you can engage in to increase your personal responsibility to heal the world. Number 3, practice better time management, dedicating at least some free time each week to something that goes beyond your own personal needs and desires. Leave the comfort zone, leave the pleasure zone, and do something that goes beyond the self. In other words, stop engaging in de facto Satanism and get involved in something that extends beyond your bullshit care about only yourself. We all have a responsibility to try and make this world better, whether it's through our work, the causes we champion, the way that we treat people, or the values we impart to the next generation. Stop making excuses. Start getting on the battlefield. Start taking up that responsibility.
I can't even spell at the moment.
There's an action plan to build the courage to do what is required. Again, making a leap of faith and engaging courage, even if you don't know how it's going to play out long term. Let's face it, the most daunting part of changing our behavior is always some type of underlying irrational fear, usually fear of beginning activities or endeavors that are new, unfamiliar, intimidating, or uncertain. We all fear the unknown. That's why we don't want to get involved in new behaviors and activities. In order to move forward in shadow work, fear must be confronted and transmuted, and right action must be taken, even if it means taking a leap of faith, in spite of fear still being present in any quantity. You have to transcend that fear with an act of will.
It's skipping out of your comfort zone.
That directly exposes you to things that you've been afraid of or anxious to do is actually the best way to begin to confront and diminish fear-driven aspects of our mind. To keep doing the behavior that you are anxious about or fearful of. You do it in a controlled, limited capacity, but you do it anyway.
Yeah. See, for me, I'm still going to find out how much that shark cage diving would cost.
Yeah, you got to do that, eh?
I got to face sharks that I only need people to donate shitloads of money to do it, but I will.
No, mate. Mate, I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you. I'm going to come and do it with you. Yeah, I'll do it too.
Like an underwater camera and
things,
or, you know.
Yeah. I'll be the cameraman. You'll be the bait.
Well, see, I didn't realise they did it in New Zealand until you came over. And when we were down in Bluff, they're like, being one of the few places in the world that does shark cage diving. I'm like, shit, I didn't know.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to do that one day.
If I'd known it, I probably would have tried to do it years ago when I actually had money when I was working and shit. I probably would have tried to do it if I'd known.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the alien invasion doesn't happen next year, I'll come over probably year after.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
We're going to shark cage diving.
Yeah, fucking
I think Aussie might do it as well.
Yeah, or you could come over here, but we've been talking about that for years. That's been happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the show. It's not about us, you know.
Yeah, but we were waiting to see if they were going to shut down flights and do the digital ID thing and stuff.
Yeah, that'll probably happen before this happens.
I know, unfortunately.
Yeah. Shit. Back to the show.
A solid action plan for building courage to do what we know is required is as follows. Number one, write down the fears you have for beginning a given task or life change. Physically write them out on paper. Examine the underlying cause of each fear. Probe why you're afraid of it with shadow work. You have to understand the cause to understand what's holding you back from engaging in certain behavior that you know is required. Learn more about the why, about why you find a particular task disturbing or anxiety causing. It's not just because. There's a specific reason or a piece of programming that was embedded in you at some point, probably when you were young, of why you're afraid of doing certain things. Maybe a trauma was done unto you that might even not really be fully at the conscious level, and you have to work with to understand the causal factors for those fears. Contemplate the fact that these are merely stories that we have told ourselves, or even worse, stories that other people have implanted within our consciousness and our psyche, which are seldom true, or perhaps very, very, very rarely, if ever, true, and which we use as excuses to self-sabotage. We, in other words, tell ourselves we're not going to begin before even starting the endeavor because of some fear or delusion or illusion that is a bullshit story that we have told ourselves or someone else has told us, made it imprinted on our consciousness. Shadow work helps to undo those factors, but you have to bring them to the conscious level of awareness first. 2, force yourself out of one of your comfort zones. Pick one of the comfort zones or things, something you feel anxious about, and force yourself out of the comfort to engage in something that does create a disturbance or does create some form of an anxiety, and force yourself to engage it. I know that can be very disturbing to some people, but you do this by doing an activity that you find fear-inducing. And you don't go all the way in. You begin small, and you expose yourself to the discomfort in a slow and controlled fashion. Eventually, you habituate yourself to it, and you reduce your fear and the anxiety-driven response. And then you could do it without that anxiety response, eventually. And then you could do it for longer periods of time. Number 3, practice.
Yeah, for me, that was public speaking. Like, still to this day, almost every time I go and publicly speak, I almost every time go and throw up within an hour before I have to speak. Almost every single time still. And still go and do it. Brings anxiety, nausea and shit. Well, but I still force myself to do it every time. There's only been once or twice that I haven't thrown up before I publicly speak.
You know what? I've just been thinking, and I've never really publicly spoke on a major scale. I've had a few words, a bunch, 20, 30 people sort of thing, but public speaking in front of vast quantities, I can't wait till that happens. And that's going to happen. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
This transcendental meditation, breath work, and EFT, the emotional freedom technique, or what is known as meridian tapping, tapping on meridian lines of the body, energy lines, on a daily basis to center yourself mentally and emotionally. That's just another set of practices that could also be included in shadow work practices as fundamentals or addendums. Here's an action plan to move into right livelihood from wrong livelihood. Shadow work cannot truly be successful in the long term if we continue to engage in immoral livelihood, making money from activities which initiate harm upon others, defraud them, or deprive them of their natural rights. Here's an action plan to move out of an immoral job and into right livelihood.
Yeah,
Number one.
I kill wheat and I kill cows.
How currently...
I kill wheat and I kill cows. They're the bad things I do. I kill wheat for my bread and I kill cows for my liver. I'm a bad person.
Yeah. See, with roofing, it was the fact that there's always shitloads of leftover crap. So I know I'm just, I know they're not recycling the shit. I know it's like whatever's left over after you put a roof on a house.
Yeah.
Whatever's left over, I know is just going to the dump. Yeah. So yeah, I also know the negatives from mine as well. Yes.
Yeah. But
list the ways that your current job constitutes or contributes to the harm of other beings. You have to be honest about, is this contributing harm? If discovering...
And I hate when people overprice shit as well.
Yeah.
That fucked me off. Like bosses trying to rip off the customer. That pissed me off.
Yeah, it's not ethical.
And do it even if you don't have an alternative present. Take a complete leap of faith and quit that job. Now, I wouldn't tell you to do this unless the job was truly immoral. If it's just distasteful or unpleasurable or uncomfortable, I wouldn't tell you quit your job with nothing else. However, if it is immoral, quit it without a backup. Yes, I can say that to somebody, even if they have children. Mean it and look them straight in the face and tell them to do it.
Yeah.
Even if no alternative is present and you must become poor and lose many life resources for an amount of time until you find something else.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Then quit the job.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that 6 months is your grace period, right? You're saying, okay, I'll stay doing this thing that I know to be wrong even 6 months from now, but after that, you have to set that date to quit. Number two, build new work-related skills. Start doing that immediately and begin searching for job alternatives immediately.
I need to do that.
Just discover, oh my God, I've worked myself in...
Probably not going back to roofing.
I'm doing something wrong, and you have no other skills that you can employ to procure right livelihood.
I want to go back to forklift driving.
You got to be building other skill sets and searching for other job alternatives. You don't just say, well, this is all I know how to do. You develop new skill sets.
Yeah,
and then you
find some computer skills.
Number three, discuss with
do some shit online.
Potential safety net.
Yeah, you could probably do that.
You just have to rely on that.
Like, work from home on a computer would be good.
You have to say,
Yeah.
Like, learn some more shit. Like, I actually do it as a job.
How poor I become, I may have to...
You should be able to do that.
Maybe
Think you're smart enough?
I may have to sleep in your house.
Yeah.
I may have to
I just have to go study, get another student loan and shit,
And we're going to have to sit down and talk about and discuss the
Wow.
eventuality. And I may just have to fucking dip into you for a while. And then you make sure that you are going to do something and pay them back once you do move into right livelihood. You don't just say, oh, you're giving this to me for nothing. You say, it will be for a time, I will make restitution. But you can't just stay in that job indefinitely and say, this is all I know. That's a bullshit excuse.
Yeah.
Definitely.
An action plan to stop being a fucking loser order follower. A satanic piece of trash serving nothing but other satanic pieces of trash.
Amos got anger issues.
I'm wondering if he's ever actually been fucked with by police.
Yeah, well,
or if it's just what he thinks in the first place and doesn't like cops.
no, I reckon he must have been fucked with. Yeah, he's not an undamaged individual. Definitely.
Have you heard if he's ever been to like prison or anything? Has he ever been arrested for anything?
Not that he's ever said that I remember.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I don't know, but he really hates police.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's like
he
a
hates
personal reason or he just
order
doesn't
followers.
Like authority. Yeah, I mean, I don't like authority. I don't like order followers.
Yeah.
But I've got like real life examples for why I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if he does as well.
I would imagine he would. Yeah, I would imagine he would. Let's face it. He wouldn't. Mark Passio wouldn't be Mark Passio without it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's easy enough to say you hate cops. Whether you've ever had any like negative engagements with them or not, it's easy enough to say you hate them. I just want to know if it's like a personal thing for him or he just in general doesn't like them.
Has he mentioned the word hate?
Has he what? Sorry?
Has he mentioned the word hate? Did he say you hated him?
I think so.
Oh, well.
I think he actually did. I'm not sure if he went as far as saying hate.
Yeah, well.
He definitely dislikes them intensely.
Yeah, well, let's get back to it then, eh?
The objective knowledge of the difference between right and wrong behavior, which is what conscience is. It's knowledge. It's not action or emotion. Conscience is knowledge of the difference between right and wrong. Hence, con, together, and science, to know. In Latin, it's from the verb sciere, and the prefix con means together. So conscience is common knowledge, common sense, what we should all know together. We talked how bad the factor of common sense is in our world today, unfortunately, that very few people have, at least of all fucking dumb Neanderthal order followers. And I apologize to the Neanderthals for insulting them. Shadow work can never be effective unless and until it ceases to engage in blindly following the commands of others like a mindless automaton robot and moves into the dynamic of right livelihood instead. Many will insist that no one should tell an order follower to quit their job and possibly allow the life quality of their family to be diminished. But that is exactly what more people must do to confront the evil dynamic of order following in our society. The answer is to quit this cult, because that's what it is. It is indeed a cult. Order followers, you are in a fucking cult. And it's an evil satanic cult.
Yep.
And you are an evil satanic member and contributor of the evil that cult propagates upon the world.
Most are Freemasons.
Don't tell me that you're not, because you're a fucking liar.
Go read the Freemasonry books that you mentioned.
A satanic fucking cult member, whether you know it or understand it or not, from your dumb fucking animal perspective. Because that's what they are, and that's what your fucking so-called fucking superiors and the satanic cult that you're really serving call you. They call you a fucking animal and a fucking dog. With your dog tags around your neck. That's some fucking bad.
Cut out again. What'd you do?
I just move my mouse around a bit.
When they're told to attack and kill, when they're told to kill.
Checking chat rooms.
Yeah, I said use your phone, dick. Bloody hell.
No, the restream. I was saying if anything was happening on the other channel. And it's not.
Even if your family suffers loss of life quality.
That doesn't.
There's no good order follower. There's only a order follower that has eventually become a good person and engaged in right livelihood. An action plan to quit the cult of order followers is as follows. Number 1, read 2 books cover to cover dealing with the dynamic of following orders. For example, books detailing the atrocities of Nazism and communism that happened within, a short historical framework, decades ago.
Bing.
Yeah, I'm refraining.
Contemplate the historical violence and evil that all forms of order following produces. Because you're the dumb fucking shit animal that hasn't even studied the basics of history. You have no fucking view of history. Let alone a long view of it. These fucking 8-inch thick forehead fucking beasts. You look like somebody put a fucking metal plate on your fucking forehead. Just above your fucking eyebrows. Your fucking brow fucking rigged fucking shit golem. Flashbacks, man.
Holy
People that actually respect these fucking losers. They're trash bags. Number two.
This shouldn't be funny.
It's so serious, too.
You got inadequacies in more areas than I can fucking count. And examine how your low self-worth and your fears and inadequacies are the key factors to keep the order follower in the cult and keep them in line and keep them doing the evil that they do. They're pieces of shit inside. They want to run away from that and just stay an action junkie and an adrenal junkie. It's called being a fucking piece of verminous human filth. Number 3 in the action plan, build skill sets and seek employment and right livelihood. Stop making the excuse, this is all I know how to do, because I'm a dumb fucking retard. Now, believe me, we know you're a dumb fucking retard, but you can still become reasonably skilled and then go do something else for a fucking paycheck.
I told you to, like, tell me to pause it when you go do other shit.
Commitments with the cult of order
Yeah, well.
within a 6-month time frame, even if you have no other options for resources.
Sometimes I don't listen.
Condition of financial poorness in the interim. Being financially poor for a time always trumps the destruction of your soul and the freedom of others that you're wiping out. You're the bringers in of the dark New World Order system. Not the order follower, the order givers, and the Satanists. The order follower is the one who ushers in the dark, satanic New World Order. Without you, it couldn't happen, loser.
Right, are we wanting to finish this off tonight?
Here's an action plan.
15 minutes to go.
Yeah, we're doing it tonight. Yeah.
Cool.
What? What? Couldn't you tell?
I think we need to do one more show tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
We'll do you know, our take on it afterwards. Like do one
Yeah.
like our take on everything sort of thing.
Yeah.
We can even try and get other people to jump on and things and get like a few people on to like a panel and talk about this.
Okay, yeah.
Anyone who's actually paid some attention to any of it. Just get people on to have their say about all of it. I think that would be a good way of wrapping up your wee series.
Yeah, so would it be tomorrow morning or afternoon? Probably afternoon, eh?
Tomorrow afternoon would be good. And then and so we'll try and get everyone on. And then I would suggest trying to upload them all to Rumbel.
Yeah.
In order to upload the whole series to Rumbel.
It's already on Rumbel.
It's already on Rumbel?
Yeah, it's already gone live stream to Rumbel. Whole thing's gone.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it's on Rumbel.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is pretty
Nice.
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Good shit.
I got Rumbel, YouTube, Rumbel, Kick, and Twitch. Always, got those 4.
Nice.
And I missed T Live.
I don't miss Dead Live.
Yeah.
They ban me more than any other platform I ever streamed on.
Yeah, he lasted there for a while though. Anyway, back to the show. 15 minutes or so, you reckon?
No, 50.
50 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, so we'll have a few more chats in between.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
Yeah, back to work.
I mean, unless you want to save the last 50 minutes for the end of the show tomorrow or something.
No, let's do it now.
Right, cool.
Poisonous falsehood
I'm good.
regarding what people erroneously believe is human nature or what is possible to achieve. It must be understood that people are capable of changing for the better with discipline and hard work. It isn't good enough just to intellectually understand this. One must create an action plan to reverse the damage that has already been done to very seriously poison the worldview of others due to previously held completely wrong perceptions regarding human beings' capacity for positive change. Stop spreading worldview poison and make an action plan to reverse it. So here's an action plan. Desist in the poisoning of the worldview of others. Number 1, find and read at least 2 books on epigenetics and new biology, such as books from Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, etc. These are good resources on these general
What are
topics.
epigenetics?
And read these books to deeply understand how.
Sorry?
Epigenetics. What are they? Epigenetics. Yeah. That's a word I've heard. Yeah.
I don't 100% know, but let me have a stab in the dark. I'm sure someone will tell me I'm wrong. But I think it's like it's in your genes, and because like your parents were like that, you can't change because it's passed down.
All right.
But
Okay.
Yeah, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's probably close. Okay. Back to the show. Thank you for that.
Quality of consciousness and behavior is created through information and environmental conditions. It is not set in stone. It is not genetic. It does not happen from birth. And if you don't understand that, you are horribly ignorant. You are tragically, epically ignorant. And you are going by dead, outmoded science that is long outdated. By over 150 years, you are following garbage, outdated pseudoscience that has been completely scientifically and experimentally disproven. And if you don't understand the sciences of epigenetics and new biology, you're going to stay a dumb fucking dunce regarding human nature and the human condition. So read books on it and educate your fucking dumb self. Number 2, quit the cults of worldview poisoning such as materialism, postmodernism, Marxism, Nazism, racism, eugenics, communism, and just about every religion on the face of the earth. These are all trash bag cults. All of them. Not just some of them, all of them. They're cults to keep your consciousness in a fucking prison. Quit these cults. None of them are true. You group scientism in there. All these cults do is tell people that they are locked into certain modes of consciousness and
Let's
behavior.
throw in
That's what
hypocrisy and Freemasonry, shall we?
Communism isn't one of them. Marxism.
Go and jump on camera, mate. That's it.
Dialectical materialism.
What, man?
Is the camera working?
What did you say?
Is your camera working?
Right now? No, I turned it off. It is working, but I turned it off.
Right.
You want me to go to the camera for now?
Yeah. Because I'm drunk and I'm doing stupid shit.
Yeah, I keep telling you to stop pushing buttons.
Yeah, well. Can we get the... Anyway. Well, what do you think?
Well, as I said, there's bits I agree with and there's bits I definitely don't. I mean, he's saying all these things is like, the occults don't do any of this, but he left out, like, the newest, biggest problem currently, which is technocracy. He hasn't once mentioned who it is that's actually controlling most of these other things that he's against. And he didn't say Freemasonry. In fact, he said earlier to go read books on Freemasonry.
Yeah.
Leave all these cults, but go read books about Freemasonry. Like, what the hell?
And that's why I did this show. Because, like, I watched the show first time. It took me a few days. I thought, oh, that's pretty cool, but it's suspicious. So I thought I better do it again. And I better get DK on to run it through with me.
To challenge the bits and pieces that he says.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't challenge all of it, but there's definitely bits I can.
Yeah. So, what do you reckon? Let's put it back on.
All right, bud.
Yeah. Do I press the button or do you?
No, I have to leave Discord and go back to that.
The things are what just drives everything. Leave consciousness and spirituality at the fucking door. Put that on the back burner. Just worry about fucking things. Yeah, okay. That's gonna get you real fucking far, dumb dunces. All these cults do is tell people that they are locked into certain modes of consciousness and behavior. These are falsities which prevent the understanding needed for reaching one's highest potential. Number 3, once an accurate understanding of real human nature is developed,
exchange time.
a podcast about it and post it as widely as possible online. That's how to undo bad worldview poisoning. Simple, practical ideas and action plans. Nothing overly complicated. Everything feasible. Everything is within an individual's budget. Everything can be done if you develop just a few life skills and a little bit of persistence. All achievable and attainable through an action plan. Here's an action plan to teach true morality and natural law once you realize that that's the real solution. The ultimate expression of all shadow work self-improvement is to get involved directly in the one great work. Teach natural law and objective morality.
It's still satanic.
An action plan for moving into doing the great work follows. Number 1, mentally progress toward an accurate understanding that human slavery can only be ended through the moral education of humanity. If you don't know this by now, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Human slavery can only be ended through the moral education of humanity. Is that going to be done with a fucking quill feather pen? Is that going to be done with fucking putting stamps, putting a letter in a fucking oven, putting a stamp on it, throwing it in the fucking mailbox on the corner? If you think so, you're a fucking drooling tard. And then
even though just before he said, make videos, post it everywhere online. But now if you do things in the physical world, apparently that's not good enough anymore.
To be told to you as such. The moral education of humanity is going to occur online by content creators creating digital content and publishing it widely and freely. And if you don't think so, you're a fucking drooling tard and you're wrong. That's the solution to the current fucking moral crisis we are in. Until this awakening to what the real solution is achieved at a visceral level, an individual cannot move into the role of natural law teacher. Nor can they truly really be long-term successful in their endeavor to truly self-actualize through shadow work. If you're not doing this, ultimately, you're failing at shadow work. Number 2, build communication and publishing skill sets in the modern world by taking seminars such as how to become a true media to learn how to make content. There's very practical, real-world plans for learning these skill sets. They're available to you. I'm not the only one who teaches them. Plenty of other teachers are out there learning. You don't have to take the class from me. You can take it from anybody offering such classes or seminars. Make zero excuses and sacrifice the time, resources, and energy required to do this. Stop putting forth excuses. Start putting forward effort. Number 3, create and publish online media to propagate true moral education. That's getting involved in the solution, folks. And again, we can go on and on and on and on and on with right action plans. We can develop a right action plan to take personal responsibility for our health. An action plan to spend time and resources more wisely. An action plan to increase patience with those you should be patient with. An action plan for better emotional control and emotional growth. An action plan to build skills with technology. An action plan to learn to be a better listener. An action plan to learn healthy relationships.
Yeah.
Tons of beneficial, positive action plans.
Which one's for you?
Let me put my glasses on. Where are my fucking glasses? Oh, there. Hang on my shirt. Right. an action plan to take responsibility for my health. Yeah. Patience would be good. No, I've got a lot of patience.
So do I.
Yeah.
Except for idiots.
Yeah. Action to build technology? Nah.
That's one I do want.
Yeah. Learn healthy relationship skills? Nah.
But for me, it's the action plan to spend time and resources wisely, and an action plan to build skills with technology. Those two for me.
Yeah. Well, health thing, because I'm an old cunt, and body's starting to break down. I got to realise I got to look after a bit more. And the rest of them, skills, technology, no.
Yeah, no, see, I do want that because I'd like to learn at least editing skills, or else not like maybe even complete programming skills or something, so I can actually get a job with it.
Well, I had a thought of a case of it's not all about the fucking internet sitting in front of a fucking screen. Life skills are more important.
Yeah, but with my back being fucked, it's like it limits my choices of what I can do anymore.
You know? But life skills for most of us, being able to do shit and knowing how to do shit. And most kids these days haven't been trained how to do shit. You mate, I fucking remember going camping with Dad and stuff like that. Most kids these days don't. They don't go camping or anything, or
But I took my son camping a few times.
Yeah. But it doesn't happen as much as I'd imagine. Maybe I'm wrong, but
well, it's a good way for parents to get their kids away from like a screen. They can camping. Like seriously, it's actually good for them.
Well, back when I was a kid, we didn't have screens, and you too.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have devices. I could imagine being, mate. I think once upon a time I had to smuggle a fucking calculator into fucking primary school. Not primary school, but oh, you couldn't have a calculator. That's
I'm passing this maths test. Fuck is all.
Back to the show. Go on.
Be conducted in shadow work. You can go on and on and on endlessly. It's a never-ending endeavor. So let me give some notes on other shadow work methodologies, because you should just at least be aware that they exist and you might want to practice them. While I have outlined the basics now of my personal AAA shadow work methodology, by no means should this be seen as the only methodologies available for shadow work. Absolutely not. Although time for this seminar will not permit the exploration of the plethora of other various shadow work methods, I highly encourage people taking an integral approach, as I said at the beginning, when conducting shadow work, and using various methods in conjunction with each other. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Or using certain methods as adjuncts and addendums to my AAA method that I've outlined here today. Nothing wrong with combining methodologies.
At least he acknowledges that.
One of the big shadow work techniques that a lot of people talk about today that has definitely had a lot of success is the emotional freedom technique, or EFT, which is a form of shadow work therapy that involves tapping on acupressure points along energy meridian lines in the human body, while focusing on a specific life issue or fear or form of anxiety. Emotional freedom technique is often used to confront and reduce trauma, to reduce the effects of a traumatic experience, to reduce stress, and to help work through negative emotions. I personally can recommend the work of Gary Craig for very effective EFT techniques. I think he's probably one of the top guys when it comes to EFT. And there are many other practitioners and teachers. And I think there is absolutely something to this, and I think it's worthy to explore. Another shadow work methodology can involve the usage of entheogens or psychedelic plants and compounds.
I don't know what
Entheogens or psychedelics are compounds which can alter human consciousness.
Oh, I want to try mushrooms one day.
If they are used in a conscious context, not just
never had them.
Never taken them again.
Yeah, never had them.
Psychedelics can be used as a supplement.
Yeah, I tried them way too many times. Bad trip almost every time.
But they should be used as supplements.
Acid work heaps better for me. Mushrooms are bad almost every time.
I would personally caution against using them as a full replacement for primary shadow work methodology or as an emotional crutch for dealing with trauma. They are not meant to be used that way. And you should use them in full knowledge and in proper context, consciousness-wise. Compounds that could be particularly helpful if used in moderation and in a conscious context include psilocybin or magic mushrooms, cannabis, and DMT, among others. Those are the three that I think can assist with shadow work. They can't do it for you, but they can act as adjuncts to shadow work if they're used consciously.
I just had a cone, I feel better.
Ensure proper setting, as we talked about with full primary shadow work methodologies, meaning a conscious psychological approach in conjunction with a well-prepared physical environment that is conducive to self-improvement and positive change. Set and setting should always be taken into consideration when using consciousness-altering compounds.
Yes. So, seeing as you haven't tried them before, the main thing is be around people who you actually fully trust and do it in a setting, environment where you actually feel safe.
Yeah.
Those are the two most, I'm serious, those are the two most important things.
Well, I did actually have a microdose once. And it was a good experience. It was a very small dose, and yeah.
Cool.
So I'm good. Yeah. Don't worry. Okay, back to the show.
So let's talk about practice of shadow work. Practice forms good habits and good progress.
Indeed.
We are going to make any real measurable progress. When I hit that target through shadow work, we must understand that shadow work is not an event that we do once. This is not shadow work. This is information about shadow work. Okay? You have to do it in an ongoing capacity. It's not one event that you do one day. It's a series of ongoing practices which must be continually engaged in order to form good habits and progress toward our stated goals. No one ever becomes really good at something without practice, at any human endeavor, whether it's sports, art, cooking, mechanics, technology, or through self-improvement and betterment. What a student of shadow work should be striving for is habituation of small incremental changes. Let me say that again. What a real student of shadow work should be striving for is the habituation, making it a habit of small incremental changes over time. Over time, these will add up to larger improvements and move the practitioner ever closer to their aspired and stated goals. Don't find the time to practice shadow work, make the time to practice it. You have to make the time for things that truly matter, not just throw your hands up and say, I don't have the time or I can't find the time. You don't find it, you force it. Again, people, they're very afraid of that word. Oh my God, he said to force something to happen. Yeah, that's the exertion of your will upon something. Not for something immoral, but to make something truly positive and good happen. You have to force it to happen. You don't just sit back and wish for it to happen. You make that shit happen. One of the most common excuses for not practicing shadow work or any other life improvement technique for that matter is people saying they don't have the time to do it because of other things in their lives. I got a job. I got kids. I got work. You can make endless fucking excuses for why you're not doing self-improvement work. It's all bullshit excuses. You have to make the time to make it happen. The fucking end. Here is the bottom line when it comes to this dynamic. No improvement comes without sacrifice of other things. Get the fuck over it, people. No improvement in life comes without sacrificing other things. You want to be the best pitcher in baseball, you're going to sacrifice all other things. You want to be the best bowler in the professional bowling tour, you better sacrifice.
He's a bowler, apparently.
Natural law, you gotta sacrifice all things.
Yeah, 10-pin.
Nothing truly great or great improvement-wise in the self or in society comes without the sacrifice of other endeavors. And if someone is not willing to sacrifice those other things, it literally means, by definition, that they don't want the improvement that they claim to want deeply enough. They don't care enough, they don't want it enough, they don't want to sacrifice enough to actually get that thing done. So don't tell me you want fucking human freedom and you don't want to make the sacrifice to teach natural law, because you don't want anything resembling fucking freedom. You want comfort, you want pleasure, you want de facto Satanism. You don't want freedom. Freedom comes with the sacrifice of pleasure pursuits to do what you know to be morally right, and that's to teach natural law.
Become one of his cult members and take what he tells you.
Sounds a bit like that, don't it?
They chose the other things. That's definitionally what they did. They didn't sacrifice those things, they chose those other things by not making the time for the desired improvements that they claimed to want so desperately. They didn't want them that bad. Because if they did, they would have done what was required to achieve them. If improvements are ever to manifest, time spent on them must be forced. Fall in love with that fucking word. Fall in love with the word. You gotta force change to manifest. That's the only way it will ever happen. Time spent on the improvements we want to see manifest must be forced, or the only things that will manifest is even more of what people claim they don't want. If you don't force the manifestation of the things you say you want, all you will ever get in life is the things you say you don't want.
Yep, pretty much.
Practicing makes us less imperfect. You hear this term, practice makes perfect? Bullshit. There's no such thing as perfection. So practice does not make perfect. Practice makes less imperfection. That's it.
Yeah,
You're never
that's
going to achieve
a true
100%
statement, as.
perfection. Practice doesn't
I like that one.
perfect. Practice reduces the imperfection to a certain degree. Practicing shadow work is the only way to become better at doing it. This is a practice that you repeatedly engage in over time, habitually.
Yeah, that's what I like about this thing.
Perfection. Perfection is a mental construct that will often...
Yeah, stop it for a sec.
Yeah.
What he's basically saying here is have a moment of introspection. Like he says, go look in the mirror and tell yourself stuff and say it out aloud. I agree with saying out aloud, but talk to yourself and try to get some sense out of what you're saying. When you're not as drunk as I am, but you can come quite often when you're normal and stuff like that and you're sitting alone and you get to talk to yourself and think about things like this that are important, well, you should take the time to do it and action on it if you can, I think.
Yeah. Not enough people actually spend time just actually thinking.
Yeah.
They just do the things that they've heard somewhere or been told. They don't actually take time to think for themselves.
And now a word from our sponsor, McDonald's.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
By Pfizer, I say. Okay, we've got those ads out of the way. Let's get back to the show. I wonder if people will believe that. Probably.
If they're getting sponsored by them, we'd be fucking rich, bro.
Lead some people to abandon self-improvement before they even begin, because they are holding too lofty of an ideal in their mind. This is what religion does. It paints too lofty of a picture, and then people don't want to engage in the work of self-betterment because they feel they never come to that perfect ideal. that has been set.
Might meet myself.
It discourages them from making decent, real-world, yet imperfect improvements to themselves. Strive to get something accomplished, but don't worry about making it perfect. You're never going to make anything perfect. There's no such thing in the physical world. Instead, focus on making some dynamic in your life better than it previously was through practice. Habituating small changes over time is practice. That's what makes us less imperfect. Part 3 and final part, integration and progress. Integration is the first step to integrity. They're based on the same root, integral. To integrate means to bring together, to combine, or to incorporate into a state of wholeness. And that's what we're trying to do through shadow work. The whole long-term process and practice of shadow work is to achieve the integration of personal improvements and good habits into our personality, to form a better and more complete human being. Without such integration as a result of shadow work, a human being remains lacking in true integrity. They are fragmented. They are segmented. And as a result, their long-term goals go unfulfilled. And all of human society remains unimproved. Because the extent to which individuals improve is the extent to which all of the human species and our civilization improves. Only correct integration of self-improvements and good habits create true integrity within an individual and eventually lead to the personal fulfillment and manifestation of important life and societal goals. Defining personal shadow work progress. Shadow work progress should be defined and measured, not just left to chance or loose interpretation. It needs to be defined and measured, your progress in self-improvement. If you aren't moving closer to changing for the better, meeting personal requirements for positive change, or achieving truly important life goals, then your progress and efforts are obviously falling short. The key to true progress is always small, habituated, incremental changes that become large life habit changes over time. That's why I call them incremental changes. You're making those small changes over time, and then you're turning them into habits. That's when big life changes start to manifest. You have to habituate them. You have to stick with it. You have to have tenacity. You have to have relentlessness. Never say die attitude. And instead of competing with anyone else, look at yourself from yesterday as your only competitor. You're only trying to improve who you were previously. Define your goals clearly and then work hard to make incremental improvements toward those goals. The only person that you should compete with in these endeavors is the person who you were yesterday. That's it. You don't need to compete with anybody else. So, if you look at improvement over time and you graph it, as time moves forward, improvement should be going up. This is an acceptable improvement rate. If we're going to track improvement rate over time, this is a highly acceptable improvement rate. It doesn't have to be like this straight up, all the way up like this at that kind of a steep angle. It needs to be an incremental progression forward over time. Okay? That's an acceptable improvement rate over time, that chart. Here's another acceptable improvement rate over time. We can reduce it like that. It's still going up. Less quickly. It's more slow improvement over time, but that is also an acceptable improvement rate over time. I would not beat down, demean, or berate anybody who's making an improvement rate on that a slope like that. If we charted their improvement rate, I congratulate them. This is what people don't understand about what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're going about that.
I just need improvement over time, not stagnation. Here's what's completely unacceptable. This next chart, 100% unacceptable. If you're staying the same and you're not improving and things don't get better over time in your progress, you're not doing shadow work correctly, and that's completely unacceptable when you're charting your progress. And certainly dipping is unacceptable. I mean, that doesn't need to be said. Okay? right? But staying
I'm
separate.
doing this and it gets worse.
Yeah.
And many people do this.
Oh, shit.
They don't improve over time because they're not habituating good habits. Be completely honest with yourself when tracking progress. When tracking your progress over time, you got to come full circle to the first principles of stop lying to yourself. Be completely honest with yourself. Shadow work begins and ends with honesty, and its progress only continues with honesty. So never, ever lie to yourself about your progress. You have to be honest about your progress. If you are not progressing at the rate you feel you should, tell yourself the truth about that and then do something about it. Everyone has bad days and slips from time to time. That doesn't mean you give up. That doesn't mean you beat yourself up. But if your long-term progress is flatlining, that is not acceptable. And you must reevaluate your thoughts and your behaviors in order to do better without making excuses or backtracking. You don't make excuses for why you didn't do as well as you want to. You just improve upon your methods. It might mean going back, being even more brutally honest with yourself, actually understanding more causal factors and formulating better action plans. I've just given you a few examples here. There's billions of ways to apply this. Set the bar high for progress, not low. Setting the bar low doesn't help you or anybody else. You've got to set the bar high. Try to be an actual achiever in these endeavors. There is very little point to setting goals in shadow work if you do not set the bar high or put enough weight on the barbell, as the popular sayings go. Improvement and self-actualization are never manifested in one's comfort zone, ever. You have to leave the comfort zone to make these stated improvements. You must genuinely challenge yourself in order to realize long-term goals. It is important to note that a balance point must also be struck when it comes to this dynamic, because you also do not wish to overwhelm yourself or set completely unrealistic standards either.
Balance
so you
is
don't
the
set
thing.
the bar to the moon, but you set the bar high enough that you're challenging yourself. Okay? So you have to know your limitations. Part of progressing in a healthy way in shadow work is to learn enough about yourself so that you understand your true potential, and you set the bar high enough to challenge yourself to rise to that real world achievable potential, and then put the necessary work in to reach that potential. But it is not setting the bar so high that you're setting an unrealistic standard for yourself. Okay? So that balance has to be understood and struck.
Yep.
Another way of tracking the progress of shadow work is, are you actively dissolving false mental constructs? In other words, are you breaking the head cage of religious beliefs? And I don't just mean cultural religions. I mean false ideologies like authority and the worship of money and total ego identity and just living for comfort and pleasure. These are religions.
Ego identity.
Tracking your shadow work progress means asking yourself more difficult questions, like you asked in the first stage of shadow work. Well, to accurately track the progress, you've got to ask even more difficult questions. One of the first is, how have I done regarding changing my worldview and my overall mindset toward the truth? Have you dissolved the false mental constructs that previously held back your consciousness? Have you truly made progress in that regard? Or have you doubled down and remained stubborn? Have you abandoned nonsensical and erroneous belief systems such as religion, authority, government, the worship of money, materialism, selfishness, a poisoned worldview of human nature, and on and on and on? Have you abandoned those absolutely false mental constructs?
I don't know.
You got to ask yourself if you have, and that's how you can chart your progress. It's one way. If false mental constructs are being dissolved, and your mind is expanding into a deep understanding of natural law and a desire to teach it to others, then acceptable progress is being made in your shadow work endeavors, at least in that capacity, which is the most important one. Another thing you have to ask yourself is, are you dissolving ego identification? Consider how much you still remain identified with societal constructs of self. And use that as another important measure of shadow work progress. How much have you dissolved ego identification? Do you still see yourself as just some worker, or just a spouse, or somebody's family member, or a member of a nation, a religion, a race, or some other group? These are all just ego-identified roles. Or have you come to see your own sense of selfhood as having been tremendously expanded in scope by doing the shadow work? As a being within your own being. And do you see yourself as an aspect of infinite consciousness, which has something tremendously important to contribute to this planet in a time of incredible cosmic moral crisis? Have you come to see yourself in that expanded dynamic of consciousness? If you make it to this stage of shadow work, and you are honest about examining your own consciousness in this way, the honest answer is actually quite plain to see. And you'll easily know what your continued work is to do. Because if you're still totally ego-identified as little me, I'm just this worker, I'm just somebody who does this job, I'm just a member of some race, religion, nationality, family member, etc., you're not expanding your worldview into the understanding that you are an absolutely infinitely valuable expression of individuated consciousness existing within the totality of universal consciousness. And if you're not getting there, you're not making progress in shadow work. How initiated have you become? How much have you begun true self-actualization and true work to improve yourself?
So he's trying to initiate you. He is trying to be a cult himself.
Another great
Maybe so.
in shadow work is simply to go back to the maxims of occult initiation and ask yourself from a perspective of complete honesty how well you are truly embodying those maxims. Ask yourself questions like, have I stopped lying to myself? We're taking this full circle. Have I stopped engaging in cognitive dissonance and dreaming? Have I truly learned how to think through the trivium methodology of truth discovery? Am I truly living in the present moment and showing up fully present for the tasks that I perform on a daily basis? Have I cared for and activated my physical body? How about have we actually cared enough to continue with self-improvement and continue to trying to teach objective morality to the masses of human beings? These are the true riddles of the Sphinx. Answer them honestly, and your initiation and progress will be revealed unto you.
What's that got to do with the Sphinx?
True health is a great measure of success in shadow work, and I don't just mean physical health. One of the best measuring sticks for true success when it comes to shadow work is health. True health. How overall holistically healthy you are. If you ask yourself how healthy you are in any particular aspect of your life, whether it be physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, then gauge that measure of health from an honest perspective. You will know whether your shadow work efforts have succeeded or not over time. And this is part of never, ever normalized pathology, especially mental dishealth. Mental illness should never be normalized.
Yep.
Part of shadow work is improving mental health. It's improving physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. So, true health is a measure of how accurately we are aligning ourselves to nature's laws and its underlying dynamic intelligence.
He's still spelling that wrong.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Lore. Not Laws. See, Laws, laws, are a man-made construct.
Yes, it's English.
Natural law, Lore, is the way things are supposed to be.
Yeah,
That's annoyed me from the first time I saw him write natural law.
Good.
That actually annoyed me.
Yeah, well, the Yanks are like.
If we refuse to engage in that process, nothing can help us. If you are stuck along the path, do not be afraid to ask for help. You do not need to remain an island. There should never be any shame or embarrassment if you need to ask for help or assistance in these endeavors, or to reach out to others through some type of a system of support in order to help you on your personal journey in shadow work. If you feel comfortable, you can talk to people about that. You can even form support groups regarding that. No one is an island unto themselves in any dynamic, in any aspect.
Yes, we are.
And it is okay to acknowledge personal limitations and ask others with more knowledge and experience for their input and expertise. The end goal of shadow work, after all, is not just individual betterment, but the betterment of our entire communities and ultimately our species and our world as a whole. So this is a group dynamic and a group endeavor. It is not just for the individual. That needs to be very clearly understood. Continue the process of shadow work with more self-directed learning. Never disengage the pursuit of knowledge. Knowledge is always a good thing. To progress further with your shadow work journey and endeavors, one must become an autodidact, a self-directed learner. To be an autodidact means that you go out in search of knowledge without waiting for orders or permission from anyone else. You just go and you seek out and you receive that knowledge. You put that knowledge into yourself by an act of your own will. We live in an age of unbelievable abundance of knowledge and information. Avail yourself of it if you want your shadow work journey to continue forward and yield positive results. Learn how to mine the digital gold that lurks on the internet because it's everywhere. I teach these methods and how to become the true media. It is literally at our fingertips if we want it. Perfection, the very idea that perfection could ever be achieved is an enemy that does not exist in reality. It's an illusory enemy. And it will thwart your progress in shadow work. Perfection is the enemy of progress, and it is the enemy of true goodness. An enemy of true goodness. Perfection is the enemy of good and progress. There is no such thing as perfection in the 3D physical world.
Who wants one?
The very idea,
Who wants it?
mental construct of perfection. It is a mental construct that will often prevent people from doing something that is truly good or making a good effort and making good improvement in their lives. A very difficult thing for some people to accept when it comes to shadow work is there is no such thing as perfect healing. There is no such thing as perfect improvement. There is no such thing as perfect healing of trauma.
Obviously.
There's no such thing as perfect progress. Get these notions out of your mind. They are going to be detriments and anchors that will hold you back. Mm-hmm. There is only better than it was before. There is no such thing as perfect. There is only such a thing as it's now better than it was before. One should never expect something to be completely perfect or wait to get something perfect to act upon it. Create something that is in your life that is good, that is a form of improvement, and then continue to improve upon that as you go. That's your journey. That's your work. This is the best practice when it comes to progress and your measure for progress. Personal growth is about progress, not perfection. Amen. Another wonderful prayer there. Okay? These are concepts that we must grok in the shadow work endeavor.
What's that word grok about?
Failure in any endeavor in life is a teacher.
Is that a computer program?
100%.
We should not be afraid of failure. Failure can be our best teacher, but fear of failure can be our worst enemy.
Here's the thing. And see, this is something that was detrimental to me.
Yep.
I know it's going to sound like I'm talking myself up, but
that's not like you.
I was one of those like child prodigies, had near photographic memory sort of thing.
Yeah.
So school was easy.
So
it wasn't very often that I actually got something wrong, and that allowed me to actually learn something that I'd gotten wrong.
Yeah.
Because if you're just getting things right all the time, you become blasé and just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If things are too easy, you're not being challenged, then it's hard to carry on progressing.
Yeah. Well, I actually add a bit of that myself.
Yeah, I ended up that happening after my parents split up because where I moved to with my mum, the school I went to was so far behind what I was up to that I pretty much didn't have to do maths for a whole year.
Yeah, we still work out like that. But anyway, mate.
Doing maths. This was an intermediate, I think what America would call middle school.
Yeah.
The first year there, I didn't even have to do maths. So I just bored the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid to fail. There's no risk without reward. You have to take risks to make true improvements.
Thank you.
One of the biggest factors which mentally hinders personal growth and improvement is the fear.
You're still muted, by the way, Alan.
Have fear deeply embedded within their psyche of failing at whatever endeavor they try. So then when
you get that.
The fear of failing at a life endeavor, I wrote live there, I'll fix it. At a life endeavor often makes us unwilling to even try to accomplish it. Progress in shadow work means shedding your personal fear of failure to the extent that you at least activate and try your hardest. There is no gain without hard effort, and there is no gain without the risk of failure. Failure is not the end of the world, and it's not the end of the work.
No.
In fact, failure can often
be
be
click back on it again.
Teachers in our lot.
Click back on watch stream again, man.
All right.
Yeah, sleep.
As failure will show us what not to do. We can then learn from that harsh lesson and modify our methods and approach in ways that refine our chances of improvement and success.
We're streaming at the moment. Wait a bit.
Giving up on yourself is never, ever, ever an option. It has been said that quitters never win and winners never quit. Amen. Truer words never spoken. This is both completely true and highly relevant when it comes to true shadow work.
I stopped for a couple of seconds, when you did something, obviously.
Take on.
I think it was when you unmuted yourself, you didn't turn it back on.
Shut the fuck up then.
And never, ever give up. Least of all on yourself. If you fail, you pick yourself up.
Oh no, sorry, I thought it was someone else trying to join because I heard the bleeping noise. I thought it was someone else trying to join, and that's why I was like, no, shut up, we're streaming. Yeah, I thought it was someone else. I didn't realize it was you stuffing around with things. I actually thought it was someone else trying to jump on.
You keep moving forward. You can ask for help and assistance if and when you require it, and there is no shame whatsoever in that. But never stop.
You tried to screen share. I see why.
Never give up on your progress toward personal betterment.
You can turn your screen share off.
Signal, if you will. It says labore et constantia, which means in Latin, work and constant effort. That is what is required for shadow work. Shadow work is an ongoing labor of love. Both self-love and self-respect and self-love and agape love.
Green thing down the bottom.
Aspects of the shadow work equation. Shadow work, like any other worthy endeavor in human life, requires constant, ongoing effort to be successful in the long run. So giving up and quitting is never an option. Labore et constantia.
Stop moving mouse.
Work and constancy, constant effort. And it's a never-ending process, ladies and gentlemen. I would be remiss if I didn't touch on the concepts within shadow work of the dynamics of forgiving and letting go. Because let's face it, if you're doing shadow work, you're engaging in looking at traumas. And traumas are often conducted by others. So a crucial part of one's shadow work journey is the development of the understanding of the difference between forgiveness and letting go, and when to employ each modality of behavior. Because we shouldn't forgive everything.
No.
And maybe even we shouldn't let certain things go. But we should know when to forgive, and we should know when to let go. Working through trauma is a significant component of shadow work. So the issue of forgiveness will definitely present itself. True forgiveness can only occur if those who conducted the wrongdoing upon you and traumatized you are truly remorseful, have made amends with those who were injured, and have committed to cease further harmful behavior. With these basic characteristics, you have a form of true forgiveness. And true forgiveness is correctly understood with these characteristics as a two-way dynamic between the initiator of harm and the injured party. And the initiator of harm is remorseful and is making amends for the damage that they have caused. That's true forgiveness. When the initiator of harm does not fulfill the requirements for true forgiveness, which were previously outlined in the last slide, the best case scenario that can occur is letting go by the injured party. Letting go means that you are no longer going to carry feelings of resentment, malice, or hate toward the initiator of harm or the traumatic experience itself. This allows emotional wounds to heal for the injured party and for them to move on in a healthy capacity. Even if forgiveness was not engaged, you can still let go of all the resentment and malice and hate, okay, so that you can heal. It should be noted that forgiveness toward oneself for past mistakes and transgressions should also be practiced in the shadow work progress. So we not only need to learn when we should forgive others, we need to learn when we should forgive ourselves. Endlessly carrying resentment toward others or self-resentment for our own transgressions is just as unhealthy as it is. So endlessly carrying self-resentment is just as unhealthy as it is to endlessly carry resentment toward another who injured you. They're just as harmful to the self. With progress in shadow work, one will learn when to forgive and when to let go. Conscious parenting means passing on self-improvement that we have engaged in as adults. Among the greatest things one can ever do is to truly raise a child in a moral and conscious capacity. Conscious parenting could do more for the betterment of our species than perhaps anything else. Prospective parents should study and examine conscious parenting techniques, which you can even include as part of shadow work, from a multitude of sources, and incorporate these techniques into their own shadow work process. The self-improvement techniques employed throughout parents' lives.
No worries there. I might be being racist. No worries.
I think the bottom family might be, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There's like a black family and a white family, but I'm not sure that guy looks 100% white.
Yeah. Yeah, where's the blondies? Blonde hair, blue eyes, none of them. Anyway, sorry, that's my racist thing. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, let's stop doing that. I didn't even mention a few things earlier. Come on.
Can be established and further cultivated for the children. Conscious parenting is one of the greatest gifts that a child could ever be given. And for children who have had conscious parents, well, the thankfulness that you should be engaging for a gift like that is unmeasurable, is all I could say.
Yep.
And
great.
So few and far between have had that. Work upon the self is never truly finished, ladies and gentlemen. There is no end to
No
this
shit,
goal.
Sherlock.
There's no permanent goal set at the end of the journey. It's a continuous
How long we got?
effort.
I'm almost at the end. Good.
Yeah.
Shadow work is
Yeah.
never incomplete.
Yeah, I knew it was coming up.
Finished.
Yeah.
Dynamic.
Because you're getting drunk as fuck.
Ongoing, ever growing, ever expanding, and ever evolving process. There are always new things to learn.
Why aren't you?
New improvements and new adjustments. And there's always new endeavors and explorations to embark on. Shadow work must begin with the heart-based desire to learn, grow, and improve. And from that internal spark,
I think I'm only on like about my 4th or 5th beer today.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I was on my 4th beer before I walked out the door.
Once improvements to ourselves and
How
our
about
needs
6 or 7 hours ago?
echo in eternity.
Oh, he
See?
stopped.
Great work.
Yeah, see? His one great work
Truly,
with the all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
it may
That
seem
was
like an
what
oxymoron to
Put
say
me
that
off him
work
completely.
will make us free.
So it started again, isn't it?
Greatly equate work
We
with
can
freedom.
stop sharing screen now.
Humans certainly do not
He's
exist
finished.
in this world.
This is the end.
Engage in
Huh?
trivial
It
toil
was like
for big
half a minute
final
ago.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
bigger paycheck. That is not the work to which I am referring. But when human beings make a sincere effort through shadow work to improve themselves, to awaken to truth, to embody what is truly right, and to truly engage in the one great work of joining the spiritual battle to end the slavery of humanity, true freedom, indeed, will be all of our reward. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your kind attention throughout the day today.
Well, wasn't that spectacular?
Something.
Hmm?
Wasn't that something?
It is something, yes. Yes, definitely. Oh, yeah. On? Where are you on screen?
Yes, Sonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's closing down other shit.
Yep.
There we go.
Well, that was entertaining, to say the least,
Shit.
because it was really important sort of work they did. Though I agree totally what there we go. So,
There we go. Yeah, got myself sorted. Yay.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, man.
Yeah. Fuck it, but I'm out of beer.
Damn.
Let's go.
Not
Just-
like you.
Just finish the last mouthful. I can wait for a couple of minutes before I need more.
Oh, so you're not completely out of beer. You just finished that one.
Yeah, finish that one, and then I don't need another one straight away. Well, maybe soon. But yeah, well, yeah. And I think that's part of the fucking.
I think we need to do another show tomorrow, sort of thing, so we can do
A wrap up.
a
wrap up
about
show,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm still streaming.
We'll do it briefly over this episode now.
Yeah, I'm still
so-
streaming. I'm still streaming now, aren't
Yeah.
I? I forgot about that.
Don't stress. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not stressed. I'm just. Yeah, I can go and look at it now.
We'll do a proper one tomorrow, like not drunk, when we start early at like proper time.
Well, according to my screen, the camera's not coming over. But then
I'm looking at it on YouTube, it's working.
it's on YouTube, but it's not on me restream. But that's okay. That's okay then.
It's not now.
Well, it might be time.
You're hitting buttons. Well, you didn't have to do anything.
No, I had to go do things, didn't I? No, where was it talking?
Maybe hang up and come back on Discord. Shit. Or do you want to just end it there with bad ping end? There's no sign off. He's already signed off by accident. It's all out. It's all over.
No, I haven't done that yet. I think it's still happening.
No.
It's not?
No, it's come back. Okay, yep.
Yeah, it's still happening. Because this is important.
That's what I keep telling you. Stop hitting buttons. You didn't have to worry about anything. Instead, it was still streaming, and
Well, that's why I need the other computer happening.
Yeah, I know. Because then you can actually check things on another computer. But with one, that's why I said don't wreck things once it's going. I actually thought you'd be able to type in the YouTube chat at least. Oh, why'd you do it again?
So, anyway, going to click off to now. I'm going to go do shit and do stuff like that. And I'll we'll hang this fucking conversation on. Like I'm not going to exit out now, but in the mainstream, the stream thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as I said, tune in tomorrow. We'll try and do like a wrap up and the things that we learned from it.
Yeah.
The things that we didn't like about it. Yeah, we'll try and actually, from our own perspectives and anyone else who's watched.
Yep.
I'll see if I can work out a way for everyone to be able to join because I've learned of a new platform that we can use for like video chat, which is another free one.
Yeah.
So we'll try and use that tomorrow. So we'll talk a bit. Well, after you shut down the stream, I'll try and teach you this other one, and we'll see if it works for you and things. And yeah.
But in the meantime, before I shut down, I'm going to play a bit of music. Like the last half.
What I mean is it's pretty much just a video site, but it's a free one. No one needs to sign up, log in, give any details. You pretty much it asks for an email name. Don't give one. Just scroll down to the bottom, go to join meeting. The only thing you should ever have to do in it is hit like the join meeting buttons, put in a screen name, and allow camera and video. You have to hit allow. Allow camera and microphone. But then you just once it says that and you hit allow, then you can just turn off your camera. It's just like a little simple thing. I'll demonstrate first tomorrow when we do it.
So can you hear the music?
No, because you're not screen sharing.
Oh, bugger. Oh, well.
It's alright. Now.
Can now? Oh, it's the delayed one. Yeah.
Take my blues away.
Well, thank you very much, folks. And let me just change that horrible screen. Thank you for watching us for the last bit of Mark Passio's. What was it called again?
Shadow work.
Yeah. Shadow work, yes. Just another day in paradise. And hope you all got some good stuff out of it. I think I did. But in the meantime, be good to yourself. And don't be bad.
Yeah. Be good to each other. Isn't that your normal ending?
Yeah.
Much love, no fear, everybody.
And be aware.